Live from the Loki studios for this Thursday, the 21st of November, it's Back Pocket. Brought to you as always by our distinguished Back Pocketeer patron. This week starring Ruby Innes.
Stop it. Stop. All I'm saying is...
Quiet in the classroom, please.
There's enough going on here.
This is your lunchtime, not mine.
That touch.
We're done, boys.
Gus Ronald.
How long does this go for?
There's still 30 more seconds.
No, that would have been done by now. Wait, what are we talking about? Drinking water?
Peter Burns.
Oh, you open them all at once.
Pincer, big special pincer.
And special guest, YouTuber and Barbie movie watcher, Snugboy.
I often wake up in the night with an insatiable thirst to dye my hair bleached blonde.
And behind the scenes, it's Josh, Will, and Ben. Now get ready, it's time. I'm holding it for Back Pocket.
You want to be on time?
Hello! Welcome to Back Pocket. It's the early bird special. 6 o'clock? What's all this about?
Oh, you know, it's so that we can get it on before Matlock starts.
For Matlock.
And
It's
then
not even an
everyone can go to
Australian
bed
old person
by
reference.
7:30.
Welcome to the show, everyone. Thank you, chat, for joining us. Thank you for making time at 6 p.m. Hopefully you've scoffed down your dinner and you're ready for a couple of hours of Back Pocket goodness. This week on the show, we break into tears. Sad. And we lie. We lie again. We lie again, and we might lie 4 times. Actually, we don't know when we're lying. We'll have to work that out. But you don't need to worry about that. We're going to lie to each other in a little segment that is making a bit of a return. Speaking of making a return, it's the 3 people here who were on last week. But I can say this, but
It's going good.
someone who's never made a return and is making, in fact, their debut.
Oh my
The
god.
worst tennis player you've ever seen.
It is, of course, Snugboy.
Hi guys, oh my god, I didn't know I played tennis. That's so
You're a
exciting.
tennis player?
Snugboy, Snug,
no return.
Max, welcome to the stream.
There we go.
Hello.
Thanks for coming along.
Thanks for letting me in the building.
That's
We
the,
didn't.
the bar is low.
You opened the door yourself.
All right,
true.
so we all have
You
complaints
let
straight
That
off
being
the bat.
itself, we did yell, "Come in!"
Yeah.
But we
Yeah.
say that to anyone. They
Yeah.
can be bringing us food, Amazon packages.
Yeah, you just
brought
say
neither
you
of those
Uber
things.
Eats, and then you get into anywhere.
That's
Yeah.
true.
That's what I find.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as you enter a place with confidence, no one asks any questions.
Or in a vest, in a fluoro vest.
100%.
That'll get you anywhere, or out of anywhere.
And with some confidence,
Yep.
get anywhere.
This is what he does. Confidence, everyone. March
Lay
in and out.
hands.
We give you permission to walk in here if you have a fluoro vest. You've done that, but for the people at home who didn't use homes you didn't walk into, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, I don't know. I'm a guy. I make some videos, mostly about like Zelda and Final Fantasy and stuff. I made a video about all the Barbie movies last year. I don't know, just chill out, hang out
You're
with my
one of
cats.
those YouTubers.
I know. 2
A dying
hours.
breed.
How many cats have you got?
Well, it's my housemate's cat, and it's
Okay.
2.
What breed?
Orange and grey.
A dying breed.
Yeah.
Orange is
I feel like orange
You just repeat. No follow-ups. I think we're good.
Orange is a breed, isn't it?
They
mean-
say that orange cats share a single brain cell.
Yeah.
All orange
That
cats.
And they're
are.
mostly boys. Very interesting.
That is.
Really?
That
But all
is. I
cats
thought they
are-
all were.
Yeah, all cats
No.
are boys, all dogs are girls.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very good
As
point.
is evidenced by this bitch.
Speaking of. No, I got no segue. Hi, Josh.
Speaking of big bitches,
You said it,
that's
not
me,
me.
baby.
Look at you up there, bathed in all that glorious sunlight. How's it feel?
Well, there's a color fill on my left here, but yeah, over there. Look at that sun.
Look at that sunlight.
Look at
It's
those Amazon
so
boxes.
bright
Sunset.
today.
Look at that daylight savings. It does it every year. How does it do it?
Well, yeah, you
Not
said
in
it was
Queensland.
early.
The days are getting exceptionally long. Can we do something about that? I'm waking up and it's like 6:30. The sun is up.
But we're getting
I
old,
can't
so we're going
run
to start
before the
waking
sun
up
rises
early.
anymore.
You're
Yeah,
not old.
When it's a young man's
good.
game, I'll tell you what, anything's possible when you wake up at 6 a.m.
You can sleep through anything, I
Yeah.
imagine,
Oh,
at
I
your
can.
age.
I'm on 20 minutes of sleep right now.
Jesus Christ. Must be
Word.
nice.
Yeah. Hey, it's going to be like this forever, guys. I'm invincible until I'm old.
That's,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
how
yeah.
that's how we do it. You're a YouTuber. You make YouTube content. Do you stay up all night? Do you pore over this kind of stuff? Are you sweating it out to make your glorious YouTube videos, or do you just fly by the seat
Yeah,
of your
or,
pants?
or are you a healthy worker?
I'm actually quite boring. I like to go to bed early and wake up and leave the house.
The video content people we have on as guests are polite. Lovely. And consider it with their working hours. What happened? I thought people used to make content
It's,
by like...
it's live streamers that are fucked.
Yeah,
That's
100%.
true.
Yeah.
The YouTubers know what they're doing.
Yeah, and I think a big
Switch
part
on.
of being a YouTuber, you know, from people I've spoken to, it's like you're kind of your own boss. So you kind of have to set yourself your own rules, and if you want to have a healthy work environment, you're the only person that can kind of uphold that. You know.
Also, you need a calm demeanor these. Well, I said
To be
this-
your own boss.
I was going to say to be on YouTube. There's still the people on YouTube who are like, "What's going on, guys? Hit that button." But I feel like that's a dying breed.
100%.
You now need to be a calm, inviting, soft-spoken.
It's actually orange cats that are
Oh, that's it,
yeah.
of course. You need to welcome people in and make them feel comfortable. You don't want to yell at them. You don't want to smash and likes and subscribes. I might be
Do
wrong.
you ding the notification bell?
No, but my everyone in my life tells me to say that, but I feel like I'm like
Then they already fucking know.
It's
yeah.
It's a
Why-
slippery
Why are
slope.
they asking you to do it if they already know?
Well, part of me is like, oh, if it's good enough, they'll like it. But then there's like a psychological thing where, like, if you're reminded, you're like, oh yeah, I will. So,
Yeah, totally.
I think you
It
should
turns
hit
me
them with
off.
a. You should hit them with a subscribe now, or I'll get you.
Whoa! But I
I
want
say
legal
go-
action at my house
I think
Oh,
almost
really?
ought
It's
to
an empty threat.
slip it in there subconsciously.
Ew.
with Morse code.
Can't do that. Well, you can if you're your own boss.
Yeah.
That's when you can slip it in subconsciously.
I meant more just like dinging bells and things. Just do it quietly on the lowdown. And
Yeah,
just see
get a
if you-
really little bell.
I watch
Just
a
ding it little.
YouTube channel. There's a guy called Rick Beato. He's like an old music engineer and producer, and he just talks about music. And he slots into the middle of his thing. He's like, "Now a lot of you people don't subscribe, and it helps my channel if you subscribe." And I'm like, "I'm never fucking subscribing to you ever. Fuck you."
But he's talking to you because you're in the middle of the video, so you're
Yeah.
definitely not at a point you're going to leave. So I'm assuming that's
I stay.
again.
I watch it every time, but I'm like, I'm never gonna subscribe.
I love when they show stats. They're
That's
like,
the worst one, yeah.
They're like, it shows here that 75% of you unsubscribe. And it's like, I am. Just don't talk to me about it anymore.
Yeah, leave me alone.
It's not my business.
Between
One of
that
the
and
25%.
between that and segueing into sponsors really clunkily, and as the king of smooth segues, I should know. But the ones that I can always tell when a video is wrapping up, I think is Captain Midnight when he gets close to the end of his ones, and he's like, and that's what's really smart about the Spider-Man trilogy. And speaking of, he doesn't even say speaking. He's like,
Squarespace.
and smart things always get you forward get you going in the world. And if you want to get, I'm like, no, it's happening. I can
Yeah.
feel it starting to lead there, and I click off straight away.
The
So I don't
best-
know if there's a
Yeah.
right way to do it.
The best transitions in like any game, they can be generic. Like, wow, this hero's trying to protect themselves. Just like when you got to protect yourself from the internet.
Yeah, I love it.
No
I
VPN.
love
We
it.
love VPN.
I love
Yeah.
I think they should just do a hard cut. They're like talking about like the downfall of this streamer who was like, you know, fucking did something bad, whatever. I'm like trying to think of an
All
example. I'm like,
streamers.
oh, they're all too bad.
Yeah.
But doing something and they're like, and here's their story, Squarespace. Just jump
Or
right
send them
into
going
it.
one way and be like, and that's something that you want to be protected from outsiders when you're online. Manscaped. And just go hard in the other one. Just catch people off.
Yeah.
Always go Manscaped.
Exactly.
This is not sponsored.
We're not sponsored.
Not sponsored, not sponsored.
But I wish.
Yeah. Hit us up.
Because you got hair. You know what? I won't go into that.
Let's not.
Yeah.
Let's not.
Are you hairy in all the wrong places? Is that?
NordVPN.
There's
That's it.
You can make it look like you're in different places with NordVPN, but you
like
have
your
the
hair.
appropriate amount of hair.
Exactly.
Send yourself to Eastern Europe, where being hairy is okay.
Oh, God.
And you don't just because you edit your videos, yeah.
I do, yeah.
And you don't just edit your own videos.
I've been known to edit other people's videos
Yeah,
from
you-
time to
you're
time.
Wrecked, aren't you?
Yeah, I work at this place called Wrecked. It's awesome, and I'm the lead editor there. But I've done lots of freelance stuff for a bunch of wild people for the last couple of years. Before that, I worked at a bank, and that was the worst.
Whoa, they don't
I thought it was a
exist anymore.
joke before.
No, I wasn't.
There was banter at the lunch table, and he said bank, and I was like, ha, good one. So that
insulted
wasn't
his
funny back
previous
then.
career.
No, that was real.
I'm something you say tonight that is hilarious. I'm not gonna laugh at just so that we're square.
Yeah.
Squarespace.
Nice. Was it one of those banks where now they took out all the furniture and stuff, so when you'd walk in, they'd come running at you from the back office to shake your hand and be like, how can we help you?
What are you talking
That's
about?
what
Banks
What?
were right
What?
before they all shut down. in my
Really?
opinion.
Editing Commonwealth Bank ads.
Oh, okay. You didn't work in the
No,
floor?
it wasn't even that cool. I worked in the mail room, which I didn't know was a job when I got it. I
That's
thought
so
it was,
gendered.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
then I transferred to Melbourne with it, and they shoved me alone in this like closet,
Jesus.
like at the back of the building, so there was no sunlight. It was during COVID. I was living by myself.
So you were safe.
Open mouth?
You just seal it up. I'm staying in here for a year.
Yeah, but so lonely.
God, how long did you do that for?
2 years, and then
What the?
You were in that closet for 2 years?
no, I was in
Wild.
the closet for 1 year.
Okay.
And then and here I am.
Any ongoing permanent damage?
You're out.
Any permanent damage
You're
from
out.
that?
Obviously.
Clearly. There it is. Cool. I've got a segue there. What I do want to segue into smoothly is if you're
Well, that
building a website.
sounds swell, kid.
I was like trying to steer away from the
Camel
fact.
cigarettes.
Goo goo gaga.
Smoke them down. They'll fix what ails you. No, we are starting early tonight. We pointed out to a couple of people, but we should let you guys know as well, is we are rolling straight into another stream after the main show tonight. We don't have a post show going on, but Peter, tell the people at home what they've won after this stream.
A Lego Horizon stream. Thank you to PlayStation for sponsoring us. We'll get to that after this show. We're going to get stuck into it. Ruby and I are going to play some co-op on the couch. And we're both like about a couple of hours in after our session. So,
Yeah.
We're jumping in kind of at World 2, in the snow, fighting some stuff.
I heard you playing with Barjo. You were pouring, gushing over all the lovely little graphics, little Lego pieces.
It's a gorgeous game.
It really
a gorgeous
is.
game.
Yeah,
And it is
it
fun to
rocks.
play, so I'm keen to play some more.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we're going to roll live straight into that at the end of this show. But we do have a show to get through with lots of fun things coming up, including the funnest part, a little bit of backup.
Wait,
Oh, I
is
hate
that
this
a bit?
bit.
Yeah. is that a joke?
Well, I mean, it's news.
Yeah.
Dying breed.
It's just like
News.
Banks.
Just like orange cats. A little bit of backup. Manscaped. No. A little bit of backup sports was by Reese Wild.
It's just a good one.
So,
I love that sound.
Reese Wild, every time he sponsored a stream, he sends us a sound from the wild, and we have to guess what it is. So, Josh, if you could take us to the wild, that would be so swag.
Don't say swag.
Also,
Why?
can you turn it up because your computer down here with the door off is so fucking loud. I can't hear anything, so I
I'm
need a
bringing
really
swag
loud
back.
noise.
Hey,
It's not that bad.
exactly.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I can't hear it.
I don't
we
know
can
what you're
It's probably
talking
coming
about.
through the mics.
Can
And
barely
also,
hear.
it's not a computer, Gus. It's our fiber internet connection. So, would you like me to go down there?
Why is it making noise? Why is
Can
the
you turn the
internet-
internet off for a bit?
the internet making noise?
All right, here we go.
Oh my goodness. No kidding. And then what happened? And then what happened? That happened too. My goodness. Really? Oh, yeah. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. Oh, what did she say?
Is it a fox?
I think
Sounds like a fox again.
we had a fox a couple of weeks ago, didn't we?
Josh
Josh
is
is
a
a
fox when it
fox.
sounds like a human.
Not a fox. I think I've seen this video, but the animal escapes me. I think someone in chat pointed out. Is it a porcupine? It is. Yes, I have seen this. This is fucking adorable.
Please share,
Josh,
please share,
please
please share,
share.
please share,
But
please
half of it
share.
is the person talking to it.
Oh my goodness.
It's Teddy.
my
It's
God.
Teddy the porcupine.
Listen to.
No kidding. And then what happened? And then what happened? That happened too.
It just keeps talking.
Yeah.
Bless their heart. That's so cute.
Is that some sweet potato?
Isn't that
Or a yam
Oh, is it a yam?
in America?
Yeah, it's yam.
Yeah. Have you guys? I don't know what creature it is. I don't know what animal it is.
Of yours, guys.
Have you guys seen animal?
Hey, have you guys seen the? Have you guys seen this? No, it's the fucking. Is it a groundhog? And like people are like filming them
Lots
in
of
the
Tony Phil.
holes, and they're like, yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm going to.
I assume that's like a porcupine or like similar kind of
I
family.
swear it's like a groundhog or something, but like they make the most fucked up noise.
Well, the sad
and
thing
obsessed
is,
with it.
like, I mean, that animal looks happy. It's eaten. But everyone, it sounds like it's talking, but it's probably saying in an animal noise, fuck off, I'm eating. But everyone's like,
No.
oh, what are you having? It's like, meow,
he's
meow, meow,
saying
meow.
yummy.
No, he's saying, like, stop petting me. I'm trying to eat a yam here. But we think it's funny because we anthropomorphize our groundhogs.
Oh, we what? Sorry?
You
No, but
groundhogs.
I would say that you're
Thank you.
anthropomorphizing it by insisting that it's feeling hate, which I would argue is
all
quite a
animals
projecting
feel
your
hate
hate.
towards
Yeah.
humans.
I think
They're
you're
all like,
projecting your
"Can we
hate
fuck
onto
off?"
it.
All animals want us to piss off.
different- disagree.
She'd love it if we weren't here.
No
She'd be
fucking
like,
way she would. She'd
run
be
of the
crying.
place.
She cries as soon as I step out the fucking door.
She was pretty moody today with the pig.
Yeah, she didn't like the pig.
I-
She did like the pig. She freaked her out though.
But she didn't like that you guys were hurting it.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. The squeaky toy sounded like it was injured, so she was traumatized by that.
Poor thing.
Which is it's just lovely because it shows empathy
yeah. And
Yeah.
hate.
and hate
And
hate.
yeah.
and arousal
While we're strangling the
when she
pig.
hunts everyone as well. But
Yeah.
that's just part of the course.
So-
Ruby.
With a little bit of backup this week, 2 sets of nominees for 2 different game awards got announced this week. So we're going to not go through every single nominee for every single category because that's a lot. Instead, we're going to talk a little bit about each of them, mainly the Game of the Year nominees, but also just talking about those award shows in general. And we're going to start off with the Game Awards,
one.
hosted and made by Jeff
The
Keighley.
G-Man.
The
The
Keighley.
G-Man.
Bloody hell.
The
And
Love that
he's,
when
he's
will they go away?
Who?
The Keeleys.
Probably not for a long time.
That's what I mean. They're doing better each year.
yeah,
They
they
just-
own IMAX.
Making bank.
Do they?
Yep.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's why I
for them.
think
Oh,
Keith
his
really-
parents, right?
Yeah, his
Yeah.
parents own IMAX.
Keely's parents own IMAX?
Oh, why
yeah.
was he at IGN?
Because he needed a...
You just get some free Doritos.
What's the
Yeah.
word?
Bounty.
Legitimacy
Mm.
in the game
Interesting,
space.
interesting.
I assume so. But
That's
Game Awards,
huge news.
they're happening on December 12th. The nominees were announced on Tuesday. This year, important note, expansions, DLCs, and those realms of things can be nominated for awards.
Controversial.
Even if the game came out last year, year before, whatever, they can be nominated. So, the Game of the Year nominations this year.
You get to Yelp when the game that you want to win comes up.
Okay.
You only get one Yelp.
Okay.
One Yelp only?
One
I'll
Yelp.
save my Yelp.
All right, Game of the Year,
Nominees are...
Astrobot.
I'll pay to beat you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you,
that means I get it.
what? I mean, we.
I'm making
What?
a rule.
Yeah. Balatro.
Nothing, Josh?
That's game of the fucking year.
Yeah.
probably is.
Black Myth Wukong. Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree.
Boo.
Final Fantasy VII
Yelp.
Rebirth. And Metaphor Rifantatio.
Yep.
Hey, yeah.
There we go. Yeah. So
Interesting.
important to note. Just to note, Astrobot and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth both have 7 nominations. They both have the most nominations for awards out of all of the Game of the Year guys. Then after them is Metaphor Rifantatio with 6 nominations.
What do we think legitimately is going to win?
I think Astrobot.
Probably
Or Final-
Astrobot,
it's
I
either-
think.
it's
Astrobot
between
would
that and Final
please a lot
Fantasy.
of people in and out of the industry, I feel like. It does feel like a wholesome kind of like video game that just wins a video game award.
The thing is,
Yeah.
it's a game that literally anybody can play. Like kids can
Oh,
play.
I don't need you
adults
to
can
tell
play
me
it.
why it's like it's.
Yeah.
No,
I
but you
get it.
literally asked why, and so that's why I responded.
That's weird. How does that work? That's a legitimate question.
What?
How does that work?
How does that work?
Questions.
Yeah. Well, they give you give answers
Oh, okay.
after you say them.
But then,
I don't care much for Astrobot. I know everyone knows that.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's that interesting. I think it's great, but I also don't think it's that interesting. I would fucking love to see Balatro win.
Oh,
I think
would
it'd be.
be
yeah.
awesome.
I think it deserves to win.
Yeah.
Of all those games on that list, I think it is the most deserving. But I don't think it will win
Black
because
Myth Wukong?
it's not big enough. Black Myth
Yeah.
Wukong is fantastic. It doesn't feel like a game of the year to me. Because I think next to some of those other games, it is like probably not as good as those from like a polish perspective.
Yeah.
But that doesn't. Yeah, I think it's great that it's there. I think it's interesting.
Final Fantasy, you yelped.
Yeah, I think for me that was the first time I played a big open world RPG where it felt like our technology has finally caught up to what they were trying to do on the PS1. And maybe it is nostalgic because, or not. Well, I mean, not nostalgic. I only played the original a couple years
14
ago.
now.
I know.
You cannot have nostalgia yet. You're too young.
But I think, when I was playing it, I was trying to put my feelings of like, whoa, I recognize this place aside and being like, wow, this is like a seamless giant open world with interesting quests. And
On
good
its own, it
combat.
still holds.
I
as
think
like
so. Yeah, for
Yeah,
me, it was just like, and it was perfectly paced with incredible set piece from incredible set piece. I don't know. That's what it felt like
Yeah.
to me.
Helldivers 2 on the screen there got people were saying snubbed for Game of the Year as well. A lot of people love that game.
Yeah, it
and
got-
thought it potentially had a chance up there. And then, yeah, Elden
like
Ring.
4 nominations. I'm
Okay,
pretty sure.
so it's still in there. Elden Ring DLC. Yeah, I don't want to like kick up a fuss about it, but I agree with the general sentiment that DLC shouldn't be in Game of the Year, especially it won 2022, I think, as Game of the Year.
Yeah.
So it's like I just don't think once you open that door, it's hard to close, and I just think it gets bitsy.
But I mean, like, isn't it a pretty like lengthy expansion?
I think
it's a technicality.
I think it's-
like, yeah, it's just
such a common sense. Like, it's not like Balatro is going to release an expansion next year with 3 different card variations and suddenly it's up for Game of the Year again, right? Shadow of the Erd Tree is a bigger game than every other game on the list. There's more content in it.
Yeah.
And that deserves to be recognized, I think. I don't actually have a problem with an expansion like that sitting there. I also think that something like a Destiny expansion could potentially make sense there. There's a lot of cinematic, there's a lot of story, there's a lot of content.
it deserves to be credited, but it needs it make a category for
Yeah,
it.
do you not think it should just have its own category?
I think that would give it the
I think it
praise
could, but I
deserves.
also don't think it would be discounted from being Game of the Year if there's enough meat on the bone, which happens from time to time and doesn't happen every year.
Yeah, I don't want to discredit the fact that there is a lot of game now. I just think it's in the field that it's a time to give other games that this was the year for them to be the Game of the Year to step into it. And so I think in that case, it should deserve its own category. It's a debate that doesn't
I
really
would
have a
just say
straight
the
answer.
judges know that Elden Ring won 2 years ago. You know, like it's still judged. There's nothing objective about any of this.
This is
it's
true.
all people with opinions, and that's fine. That's what awards are. But I think that will just immediately deduct points from it anyway in people's heads. It's like, yeah, okay, this is an exceptional 30 hours of content or however much it is, but it loses a bit of points in the Game of the Year category by the fact that most of this was built before this year.
So you don't think it's going to win?
I don't think it'll win.
Yeah, okay.
No.
I think if it wins, that would be disappointing to the games on the list there.
Yeah.
But I do think I don't have a problem with it getting a nod.
Yeah,
to
okay,
being,
I see what you're saying.
To
Yeah,
being
yeah.
one of the best game experiences of the year, and with that much depth of content. And there's enough going on in it to go like, okay, this is a different gameplay experience to Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Put a pin in the debate until it wins, and then we'll be like, what the
Then
fuck?
if it wins, I would be upset. don't think it
I
deserves to
honestly
win,
think
but-
it's probably between, like, realistically, it's between Astrobot, Final Fantasy, and Metaphor. And I would
Metaphor.
love for
That good? Metaphor?
Totally.
Metaphor's
Yeah, right.
really good, but it is, and it's been quoted from heaps of reviews being like, it's Atlas doing what they've already done,
Yeah.
just with a new, well, not just with a new skin, but with very similar mechanics, just polished and
Has one
refined.
of the
But,
Persona games won in the past?
well, not since the Game Awards have been out, because
I think Persona 5 got
would've-
nominated, but that was
Yeah.
it, I think.
But it would have been 5 Royal.
I just
something.
think that something that, and it kind of leads into the next one that we'll be talking about, but something that bothers me about the Game Awards is I feel like, and like, I guess it's like good that those categories are there or whatever, but to me, having best indie game and best debut indie game is like pretty much the only 2 places where indie games get nominated, except for like the odd sprinkle here and there, like Games for Impact, really limits the show. Like so many of the categories have at least 2 to 4 of the Game of the Year nominees in their categories. And I just feel like it's so limiting considering like there's like this year was a great year for indies. Really, really good, spectacular year. And they kind of just get sectioned off, so then the same 5 or 6 AAAs can kind of just get thrown at these categories again and again and again.
It's an interesting perspective. Like, I don't see an imbalance really. Like, I think that what these you see the same in Hollywood, right? Every now and then there's a sleeper,
An outsider.
low budget film that is competitive against the big studio films. The big studio games, like there's an argument that Call of Duty is the best video game every year. Has more players than any other game. It is fucking exceptionally put together. From a networking perspective, from a campaign perspective,
Polished
from a multiplayer
content
perspective,
amount, yeah.
it is more video game for dollar for anyone out there. Like it is the best video game by that definition every year, right? But that's not fucking interesting, and it's not interesting from a storytelling perspective or a creative perspective to just be playing in the same space all the time. I think those big games deserve to be recognized. And are recognized for good reason. The amount of people that work on those things makes them bigger, and like to me is justifiable in how they're represented across the slate of awards. You know, like I think absolutely there's great art direction in indie games, but there's teams of art directors on bigger games, and that's why I think we see them there.
Yeah, but I don't know, because I mean, I'm not whittling
I
what
wanna
you
hear
said down.
what you feel like is shunned.
I'm
though.
not whittling down what you said to just this, but like, is a game better if it has more people working on it?
No, but
Because Balatro is a fine example.
But in this context, probably.
It does tend to skew in that way based on just purely the amount of talent you would have from a larger group of people, based on how they wrangled that, based on how they got their concept through, based on how they ended up pitching that idea to be a developed game, and that many people have input on it. Just out of a stats thing, it has a chance to not be better subjectively, but almost objectively, it is just a better piece of content and something that's made. That's why I said objectively.
Yeah,
I'm saying
I'm saying I disagree. So
okay, but by that standard, putting them in, mixing those categories up, leads to this kind of discourse, which I don't think is fair on the games, because they deserve, in their own right, to kind of be held.
It's also putting a lot of weight on.
That's why categories exist in general.
Yeah, totally. But we do put a lot of weight onto the game awards, which ultimately are fucking meaningless.
yeah.
It's just like it doesn't really change anything.
Especially the Game Awards, because at this point they're probably gonna maybe announce 3 awards in a row, not say the other nominees, and just be like, winner, winner, winner. Here's 3 ads.
Manscaped.
Yeah, there it is.
Exactly.
Game of the year.
Game of the year, Squarespace.
Give Manscaped Game
So
of
the
year.
indies you're mentioning,
And
there's a
kind of
category.
jumping into the next set of nominees that were announced for the Indie Game Awards, which I think is being run by 6 Point Indie or 6 Point Games, which is a collective of like industry veterans, and it is happening on December 19th, so a week after Key3 Awards. And they make a note of calling this an awards-only ceremony, which I think is really funny. I think it's really funny. But it's spotlighting indie games. There's a lot more variety, I find, in these nominees, and a lot of really good stuff in there. And it's the first year that's being put on. It's presented by various game developers, so I feel like there's a bit more of a spotlight on devs.
It's
which
the
is
first
great.
year. It'll start pure, and just give it 2 more years, and then there'll be
like it'll probably stay pure.
Yeah.
I mean, what
Yeah.
we're looking at is like 2 shows that have an agenda, and Jeff Keighley's show is designed to make Jeff Keighley money,
Yeah.
and it works, and that's why it will probably be sustainable for a decent chunk of time. Hopefully, this has enough support that it can stay sustainable.
You're so right. The Keeleys fight the anger that comes from the internet with money, because
By
they're
being
like,
like-
by
being-
selling ad space and being like, we're fine with that.
Totally,
We can still make
and by
these
doing
work.
2 or 3 decent things for
Yep.
the industry every show.
Whereas
Yeah.
and,
this,
and then just playing a bunch of fucking ads and saying world exclusive, which
Yeah.
is hype.
and they're
Right,
happy
that's
for
cool
those
as
to
hell.
collide. Whereas this will run on the energy and the goodwill of the gaming collective, of people going, we want to support this and give this, as much support as we can. So
Yeah, hopefully it sticks around, because Deo Devs is still,
the
kicking on.
devs,
They've been
yeah,
around for
still kicking.
ages now.
fire through the indie game of the year noms.
Yeah. So the Game of the Year noms for this one.
Remember your Yelp. Remember you get a
Oh
Yelp.
yeah, remember your Yelps.
Yep.
Only one.
1000 Resist. It's a very good game. Animal Well. Arco. Balatro. Crypt Custodian. Lorelei and the Laser Eyes. Mouthwashing. Yelp. Neva. 9 Souls. And UFO 50.
Oh, I'd like to go back to Balatro. Yelp.
You'd like to go back to
I'd like
Balatro?
to yelp
And-
for
Oh, yeah,
Balatro.
Animal Well.
Animal
Well
Well was
rocks.
fucking
Yeah.
good. That's a very good. That might win it actually. Animal
Yeah,
Well had the
Animal
right
Well-
energy around
I
it.
honestly, I think it's between out of these ones,
Yep.
it's probably it's really hard because these are all really good games in different
The
ways.
fuck was Arco?
You played Arco.
Did I?
You did play Arco and you loved it.
Very
Wait,
memorable.
that's not the van one, is it?
No, that's Caravan Sandwich. This one's
Oh, Arco was the Western. Yeah, right.
yes.
Oh, that was really good. Jeez,
Yeah.
wow. Forgettable name.
Yeah.
Thumbnail.
All of these games are really, really good for
course,
different
yeah,
reasons.
they-
Like
Yeah.
it's crazy. Like 1000 Resist is 1000 Resist. I'm pretty sure won Game of the Year at the South by Southwest Sydney game.
Is it pronounced 1000 resist?
Yeah, 1000
Is that what the-
Resist.
Oh, my mind.
Mouthwashing to me is a masterpiece. Like that is a masterpiece in like narrative gameplay and like making a game cinematic without leaning on fidelity.
What's the last one again? It's UFO 150?
UFO 50.
I need to play that, but I've
Yeah.
heard that's such an interesting take on like the definition of indie. Did you hear about it? It's the one
No,
where
no,
it's
it's not.
basically a bunch of game. I was gonna
50
say,
games.
I was going to say it's 50 games developed as if it was the life cycle of fictional studios creating series that have sequels and.
I think it's one studio, like one fictional studio.
Sorry, I meant it's
that's made
multiple
these 50
developers from
games.
real world,
Sick. That's
real world
such a cool
developers.
idea.
Yeah.
Wow.
Make it, and so that you'll play like a sort of a faux facsimile of like a Metroid game, and then you'll play a few other games, and then there'll be the sequel that'll build on some of those aspects.
Wow.
And yeah, apparently it's got kind of a cool meta beneath it, but it's a slow burn because you literally have to go back and play like the old games that you.
Oh,
used
sorry,
to
one
play.
fictional console.
Yes, there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right.
Anyway, that just on sort of ingenuity alone might put it up there, but yeah, Balatro will smash it. Won't it,
probably.
Josh?
I think it will.
Probably.
Yeah, he's up there
Josh
playing.
hasn't
He's
played
up there playing.
I
Balatro.
honestly
Yeah.
like. I think it's between Balatro, Animal Well, maybe Lorelei and the Laser Eyes.
You're just
and
gonna read all the
Mouthwashing.
or this or this or this.
No, but the other ones are still really good. This is actually hard. Like this is hard to choose between because every single one of these games have something really unique
which one do you
about
hate
it.
the most? That's what I want to hear. The reverse Yelp.
I don't hate any of them.
That's not true.
I've given all of these games a go, and
Which one did you not like the most?
Um,
We'll get you there.
no,
If you had to kill one of them,
Yeah.
I don't want to.
like in a Sophie's Choice kind of situation.
I'm
You're
not
Meryl
Sophie.
Streep.
I'm not making that choice.
Do it.
Okay.
Just kill him.
I quite liked it. I think that the art style
Say
was
one.
beautiful
Which one?
and it
Say
did
the name of it.
Kill it.
but Crypt Custodian didn't grab me as much as the other ones did.
Dead to us.
But it was really,
Okay.
I really enjoyed it.
Worst
I really
game
enjoyed
ever
it.
made.
No, not
but
enough.
just not as
Not
much
enough.
as
Crypt Custodian, you heard
the
it
rest
here
of
All right,
first.
that's it.
Worst
The
game ever
reverse
made.
game that's going to lose the award the hardest, as nominated by Ruby.
No, but I also I thought it was really cool.
Ruby
I thought
hates indie games.
Yeah,
Confirmed.
that's what I'm
That's
hearing.
it.
what I'm
It's
hearing
all
too.
over X.
I love video games
Disappointing.
more than
Yeah.
all
It's
of
disappointing.
you.
That's a disappointing
And
attitude.
I'll say that.
When the bit goes too long.
Welcome to What We've Been Hating, and it's indie games. They all suck. It brought to us by Nicotex. Oh, I threw my neck out.
Do you guys
like
want to see
this.
something cool?
You boxed up, nice.
Yeah, I'm a little GameCube.
my,
little
my
GameCube.
sister showed me how to do this the other day. It's 3 root fingers.
Oh.
Flipping
Oh
you
yeah,
off
if you push the
3
knuckles a little
times.
closer together, I
Yeah,
can
it's
see
like-
that. I can see that.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, flipping you off 3 times.
Your sister is a cultured woman.
She's incredible.
For Nicotex, we look at a sequence of screenshots from a video game, starting obscure, getting less obtuse as we get into it, and we're just going to try and guess what game we're looking at as quickly as possible.
We buzz in?
We can buzz in by saying it. Test your buzzer.
Uzza.
Azza. If you hear the word Azza, pause the
reverse
video,
sneeze.
Josh. Let's see it. Azza.
Is that a?
That's
Is it a Daxter?
Jack and
or is it a
Daxter.
Jack?
It's a Jack. It's a Jack and Daxter game. Jack and Daxter, Sandcastles of Time.
when 3/4 jean shorts were cool.
I don't know what one it is, but I'll take Jack and Daxter.
He doesn't want to look at it anymore. Actually, what are these cursed screenshots?
Jack next to one.
Hi, you need to go on a quest. I don't care for this series. Look at this shit. Look
go on a
at that
quest for that
character
guy.
design.
I'd go on a quest for that guy.
Was that Daxter?
It's got to be.
And
Jack's got to be the boy.
Oh, he's an elf man.
Oh.
As you'll see in Jesus Christ.
Wow.
This low resolution.
Lovely.
It really
And
was the PS1.
The precursor,
I didn't know it was
It's
French.
French.
Oui, oui, d'accord.
Oui.
Jacques and
Oui, oui.
Daxter.
We over here. Let's talk about the games that we've been playing. I am going to start us off because I'm going to be very brief because I was hanging out for the drop of Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl, today. It is finally here. GSC Game World's Stalker Revival is here. They've been cooking it up for a long time now. And obviously the team have been working in some of the most hostile conditions on the planet in Ukraine. And so, heart goes out to them. Fucking brutal.
Half the studio moved to Kiev, I think, halfway through it as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they were struggling to get it made.
A tumultuous development cycle. And they managed to do it without any crunch.
Really?
No,
Wow.
I don't know. I know for sure.
When you work from home, is it really crunch? It's just you're stuck at home.
They have
The answer is
released,
yes.
again, it's on PC and Xbox, they finally have released their title. I jumped into it today. I only got into it this afternoon. I only played about 40 minutes, and then the game crashed hard on PC. So it is, it needs a little bit of patching to get it running smoothly on PC. But it is a first-person shooter set in Chernobyl, and Josh, I'm going to be done in like 5 seconds.
And that pretty much sums up Peter's opinion on Stalker.
All I've played is the opening sequence where the game crashed a lot.
And that was what we've been playing. Time for an ad break.
Time for an app. See you next week.
Now it's time for a next slot model.
You got to walk in
Nothing.
front of this camera, Josh.
Nothing.
You got to walk in front of this camera.
Oh my god.
There he is. It is an old school first person shooter. It has some survival mechanics in it. It is like a little. It's somewhere between a Call of Duty and a Half-Life in how it plays.
Their open world, though, I think, is the big
It
part of the
sure
series.
should be. It will be once I really get stuck into it. But it kind of sets you up in the zone where all this kind of anomalous activity is happening, and you kind of get thrown into the mystery of it all with this scientist trying to kind of scout it out and take advantage of some of the anomalies to create new technologies and trying to create a utopia out of a disaster is kind of the setting of it all. There, of course, are radioactive monsters as a result of the zone being a bit fucked up. And so I've set out into this world, have encountered anomalies. There's definitely a horror tone to it, but you start with guns. It's kind of like shooting up big monsters is pretty much the name of the game.
So you're not completely you're not stripped. Kind
No,
of in a
but there's like
sense.
in a survival sense, it's about managing your resources. So you don't get all of the ammo in the world, and you're in an open world, right? So you need to pilfer and explore, as opposed to loading into a new level and suddenly you're equipped again. You know, you don't just get a refresh of your med kits or your ammo just by finishing part of the campaign. You need to go and find resources and then focus back in on main quest or side quest, and that's how you get around the map, is basically following your main quest marker to different points of interest. And it is a strong. I would say it's a pretty strong opening in terms of the presentation of it. It's not AAA presentation, but it is really solid. Great performances. It's annoying that there's an American guy in the lead. Well, it's always a fucking American guy. But
it's such fun to do a Russian accent.
totally, yeah. You should. That was perfect.
That was
you
it.
should be doing
Spot
Why
that.
didn't you send your tape in,
Yeah,
man? What
because
happened?
Russian accents is what they're going for here. No, of course not.
Oh. Okay.
Russia invaded them.
But they're in the heart of Chernobyl.
That's true. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing more of it. But it just dropped today. It is exciting that it is finally here after a long time, a long kind of lead into this.
It's got the series. I've never played a Stalker. Oh, no, it's a lie. I played a bit of Stalker, one of the sort of spin-offs, but it was just a little too old-fashioned in terms of how old school the graphics and how the gameplay systems work. But I respect that it's one of those series that feels like it was getting in on the DayZ, Rust style survivalist gameplay super early. Like, I don't want to say they invented it, but they really capitalized on the fact that it was about brutal difficulty, resource management, over-encumberment, like, yeah, basically making your way in this world, which back when you look at those older games, it just looks surreal that they were doing it on those older engines. I am really keen to play this. However, I checked out about 3 or 4 reviews today, and they all are saying, unfortunately, it is suffering from a pretty a launch that has quite a lot of bugs, mainly on PC, I believe, and that its gameplay systems feel a little bit undercooked. However, I think just the fact that this series has such a strong fan base, fans of the novels that the Stalker series are based off, and people do, myself included, and I know you do, Pete, as well, like that brutally hard kind of gameplay that comes from your DayZs, and the challenge that's there still has to be a cool setting, still has to be a story that you want to see through, or even just a world you want to stay in. Then I will play a game where I have to hike for 5 kilometers to get a few extra bullets and some rotten meat, because I love that in my moody kind of,
the mood is the leading factor in what's making this interesting, and that mood is influenced by the game design, and the game design forces you to be uncomfortable and go to places that you don't necessarily want to, and to what was I going to say? I'm so tired.
I've been hiking for miles in the heart of Chernobyl.
This is brought to you by Koala Mattresses.
Is it? No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's
Cut the
they got
cameras.
cut.
Josh, cut this shit.
It's an interesting start. I would love to have played more, but unfortunately, I haven't.
Did you play any of the Metro games?
Yeah, I would say it's got. I did, yes. Those are more actiony.
Yeah,
they're more like Slavic Call of Duty as opposed to this is like Crisis Tarkov.
Nice. yeah, I say that.
So it's a bit of a different vibe. But yeah, I'm really keen to see how batshit this gets deeper in, because it's quite, again, I haven't seen enough of it, but it's quite beautiful, but tame at the start.
Yeah, okay.
And I want to see where it goes in terms of its like.
I hope, and I, again, this sentiment that you echoed, that I've heard a lot of people mentioning, is that it is the larger gamer public know about the trials and tribulations that the studio has gone through in the development of this as a very long development cycle. So I do really hope that while a lot of games launch and have a little bit of a stumble out of the blocks, and it's funny how quickly the gaming public can be like, well, we're done with that. But this has a massive fan base. And again, as I mentioned, like, people know about the struggle that they are working to still make this game as popular as the other Stalker games are. I think it actually has a solid future. I think they're going, like, they've shown dedication to it. They're going to patch it. They're going to work through it to make sure it turns into the game they want it to be. I just think we live in a world now where launches don't dictate exactly how that game should be reflected, in its long run.
Totally. Particularly when there are pressures from, like, publishers and investors, right? Like,
totally, yeah.
It becomes not about getting it finished and putting it out. It becomes
people
about
who play this game
putting it out because someone's breathing down your neck.
Plus, people love
And
it.
that man is Phil Spencer.
Like publishers and investors for sure. I think also like audiences as well, because you don't want people to forget about your game because you took too long to release it.
Yeah.
And so sometimes you do just have to get it out there just because you sparked up only so much hype that can't be sustained.
And I don't know, like, I haven't seen the limitations to the gameplay systems yet because I'm not deep enough into them, but the gunplay so far has been fun.
Great.
Shooting a couple of monsters that I've run into has been fun. And exploring has had a great mood to it. So I am keen to play. Like, there's constantly stuff like this happening where
the other
you're
stalkers
hearing
out and about.
stalkers out in the
That's
field
it.
getting killed, and it's cool.
Also, if you like brutally hard games, you're playing this game, just see the bugs as a feature, not as a
Exactly.
bug.
Totally.
The bugs can be a feature.
Totally. And I
Work
haven't
around
experienced brutal difficulty yet either. I understand
okay.
that's like part of the conversation about it, but I think it's the most challenging part of it so far has been that it doesn't hold your hand at all.
Yeah, okay.
So other than the fact that there is a quest marker, which is like just game design now, but it wasn't telling me how to do the objective. That's great. You know, I was just like, am I doing something wrong here? I put my little clicker away. It's like, oh,
do you like that in games?
Yeah, I do. I like to, it's simple discovery, but it's still discovery. So I feel like you don't forget it when you learn it that way.
Yeah, right.
As opposed to being told it by just context prompts.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, this is meaningless. I didn't learn anything. I did the thing. I followed the quest marker and then I hit the button you told me to press. And am I playing a game at that point? Or am I doing the thing you're telling me to do?
Yeah.
Anyway, Stalker 2 is out. And that's exciting. I'm keen to really get my teeth into it. But we're going to go to you, Max, because you're playing... Sorry, Snug Boy. Did I just dox you?
No, it's fine.
Does anyone know you're called Snug?
I said at the
Parents
top.
do.
Okay.
My parents.
God, oh, man.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. I'm on the internet.
You're playing a game that has a similar mood.
Somewhat, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. Yes, I've been playing Half-Life 2 because it just turned 20 years old this week. And as a part of this anniversary, Valve, who have oddly for a very long time said that they don't like looking back at the past, but the last couple of years ago, they've become more retrospective. And so last year for the Half-Life 1 25th anniversary, they got this giant documentary done by NoClip. And they've done the same thing for the 20th anniversary here for Half-Life 2. Cool. And then on top of that, they've gone back, they've fixed in a bunch of bugs, and most interestingly, they've added a developer commentary section to the entire game, which has been in every single Valve game since after Half-Life 2. So they've assembled as much of the original team as they can and gone back to this one. And if you're a game developer, a budding game developer, or even just interested in this stuff, it's so fascinating to hear them talk about just the smallest of details and how they constructed this world. And more excitingly is the documentary is brilliant. It's 2 hours. It documents the entire story. They show off the beta builds of the game, which people have been trying to get nuggets of information for years. And they give the very first official confirmation on why Episode 3 never happened, which has been, their bane for the last 15 years.
Yeah.
So it's been great. And I
think they could have just made a press release rather than
hide it in a documentary.
Well, no, it's interesting because, like, if you don't mind me spoiling this part of the documentary, the reason when they started doing those episodes, they split the team in half, and the idea was to leapfrog. So when Episode 1 was done, they would start on Episode 3, but by the time Episode 2 was done, they wanted to go do Left 4 Dead, and they're like, oh, we can't go back doing the episodes, and people liked the episodes, but they didn't like them as much as the base game because it was so short. And then
once Left 4 Dead's done, we'll make nothing. We made Portal. Fuck. Okay.
Literally exactly that. Yeah. And then I think too, they said like they couldn't figure out what to do next. It was like, how many more ways can you shoot the Combine? Like, what more can we do with this gravity gun? But they do sort of hint at the end of the documentary that maybe there's more Half-Life to come, which is very exciting.
Half-Life Alyx too.
With no VR, hopefully.
Yeah.
Had you played this through in its entirety before?
Yeah, I played it for the first time only a couple years ago.
Right.
And even then, I mean, I was 2 when this came out. Sorry, everybody.
Oh my God.
And I know, goo goo gaga.
Fair enough.
But
you raise a really good point.
I'm cooking. I'm actually cooking. No, but even playing it a couple years ago, I was 18. It's from 2004. I think it holds up incredibly well.
So well.
The thing that impressed me the most is when you meet Alex Vance for the first time. Her face and her animation looks incredible still. And there's a bit of jankiness. She goes to jump over a fence and she sort of stops and then jumps and then walks. But like apart from little hiccups like that, like it's so impressive.
They embraced the tech at the time. You're so right because the facial emoting that comes from them isn't highly detailed. It's just done well. It's just done with the right level of performance capture, and the whole game is a fucking masterclass in like level design and
physics.
Oh
yeah, and
all
the
that
stuff they
there.
talk about in terms of the teaching, like in this developer commentary, is so interesting. It's incredible.
I've played this campaign 3 times. And I will play it a 4th now like this because this is something I'm just like, just even seeing it now, I don't know what it is about that. Like, again, aesthetically, it's such a like, run down, weird looking world that they just absolutely hit the nail on the head of making this strange environment that feels at the same time familiar and foreign. It's just, perfect.
And one really good thing about the developer commentary is they make you immune while you're listening to the nodes. So sometimes I'm like,
cool.
Sorry, these bullets, no thank you.
Just admit it, I'm learning.
I'm learning about the source engine and physics.
Well, part of why this game is very playable today is the Source engine.
Yeah.
And the Source engine is now Source 2, but is effectively the tool that they were using, for more than a decade.
Yeah.
And making brilliant games. And it just has, I don't know, it just has a feel that
It does, yeah.
it holds up. It holds
Feels
up.
like how a video game, first-person game shooter should have always felt.
But Dota's built in this.
That's
like-
the crazy
Oh,
thing,
really?
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's,
wild.
it's their engine. And it just is so impressive. I mean, at the time, this was like a tech demo like no other, this game.
Did you guys play it when it came out?
Yep.
Or-
Yeah,
So
I
what
would've
was
played
it like? Was it just mind blowing? Like 'cause
I
I can only
remember,
imagine.
I remember being in a video game store where they had it set up and they were showing like a pre-render kind of thing of doing the bricks on, or doing the barrels underneath for the floating water, and people were standing around looking at it just being like, holy shit, that can't be in the game though. Like, can it? Like, there was that level of, just not believing that this could actually do it for outside of one little quick time event. But it's like, no, it's the whole game uses all of that physics system, all of the, yeah. Oh man.
And we take those things for
Like
granted.
the
'cause
helicopter
every
just
game-
blocked the door.
I know.
Like shooting barrels.
Yeah, it's again. I think I could sit through and play this whole thing from start to finish without it even feeling slightly dated. Just because you're right, the Source engine does feel so natural and so where you should be.
I don't know if it's just because I've spent so much time in it playing
Potentially.
Counter-Strike and whatever, but like it is like it doesn't look. This footage looks great.
Yeah.
This looks like Stalker 2.
And the good thing, because it's so old, like you can put it on the most garbage PC and it'll
Yeah,
still run
that
at
is
like
true.
60 FPS at 1080.
I guess the other point is also that, like, you know, we always want the sequel to the thing that we love, but realistically, when we get it, is it any good? So, like, you know, we shouldn't have wanted it in the first place. Like, this story ends when you do play Chapter 1 and 2. Was it just called Half-Life 2 Chapter 1?
Episode 1, Episode 2.
Episode 1, Episode 2, yeah. They end in such a sort of different... Sorry, I don't want to spoil anything, but they just end
And
on
with
cliff-
a gnome on a spaceship.
They end in a cliffhanger, and that's the
Yeah.
best way to leave that story in your mind because it
Yeah.
just feels like this place is still alive.
Exactly.
And
well, they say exactly that in the documentary. They're like, yeah, it would have been easy for us to conclude the story, but like that's not what Half-Life's about. To them, they see it as like innovation in the gaming space.
Yeah.
Which is why Half-Life Alyx was a thing. You know, like VR, we got to
Yep.
do something there.
Yeah, I mean, and Portal as well. Like Portal tonally is in the same realm as Half-Life and is a tech demo that is like you see them building a game around the gravity gun here, and you see literally they built a game around a portal gun.
Yeah.
for
Literally.
Portal,
Well, I'm pretty
right?
sure canonically they're in the same universe.
Yeah.
They are. It's all Black Mesa
Cha.
stuff. Yeah, but it's like you're not running around with Gordon Freeman, obviously, in Portal.
do you think that potentially this will garner enough interest back in the series that, you know, I'm not saying there isn't now, but like just to, and at the end of the doco to make a next step, to make something? Have they hinted in any way of what?
I think
could
they
be
are.
next?
I think. Well, I think that's also a big push, as well as Counter Strike and all their other games. But I think Source 2 was being pushed for Half-Life Alyx, and then especially when that came out, I think they all had the itch to do something more. So
must.
we'll
surely.
see. It's Valve.
But
They're a
I-
weird secretive
Well, that's
company.
the thing. I
Yeah.
think a big thing with Valve as well is like it like the mantra is that they don't really see something the worth of making something unless they can do something completely new that
Yeah.
like hasn't been done before or as well as they could do it. Like,
Yeah, and so I'm interested if they do another Half-Life. If it's doo-doo.
Sorry.
If it'll be non-VR.
This is the kid in the room, and you two fuckers laughing at the word.
I'm 19. I don't know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
how just finish year 12.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
As we go on. Yeah.
God.
Anyway.
I just wanted the
So
last.
that
thing-
was a song from the year 2006.
2006. I was bloody in prep or some shit.
Yeah,
An
please.
MP3 we used to get off LimeWire.
Yeah.
The last thing I wanted to say about this, I forgot how much this game is a non-stop roller coaster, and I mean that in the sense that there's no point to put the game down because it is that perpetual loading into the next zone, next zone, next zone. I remember that the reason I've played this campaign through 3 times is because you go to start it and there's no natural out. You just keep going, and you're like, well, I'll get to the next era. I'll get to the next era. I just don't remember that in shooters. It just keeps you going forward.
Because it's not shooting, it's like a cool story beat, and then after that you go into that horror zombie town. Like you don't get a
Which is
moment.
still
Totally,
terrifying,
yeah.
but they give you the razor blade on the gravity gun. You're like, well, I've got this now. I should be fine. Oh, fuck. Yeah. Good times.
Very, very cool. Gus, what have you been playing, mate?
Speaking of old games that are having anniversaries, my game is 40 years old. And I'm talking, of course, about the wonder that is Tetris. Tetris Forever came out last week, and I checked it out because I love me some Tetris. But I also love, like you were talking about with your doco, when we get to preserve video game history in new and unique ways. And Digital Eclipse have come out with this game, which basically is a playable museum to Tetris, which is partly documentary and partly a bunch of the old Tetris games in their original form that you get to play as you progress through the documentary itself. So, for anyone who doesn't know what Tetris is, do not finish that sentence. This basically starts with the original version that was made by Alexei in Russia, and then the documentary tells the story of how the game was eventually brought over to the US and licensed by Nintendo. But a big part of that was the fact that if anyone saw the Tetris movie, there was the dramas about the licensing and who held the rights to console and handheld, all that kind of stuff. So that is part of this documentary, and that's the part that, having seen the film recently, I already knew about. It's still there, and it has new interviews with both Alexei, Hank, and his daughter, who now works for the Tetris company with him. And it has this amazing footage, some older than this, where they even have the handheld camcorder footage when Hank first goes to Nintendo to talk to them about, and then goes over to Russia as well. It's really, really great footage, and it's all put together, I would say, very well. It's a bit clunky because it's a doco that you get 5-minute chunks of, and those 5-minute chunks should just be played back to back. It's like they cut a doco, and then, they put together a full doco, and then they just chose slice points. So it does kind of feel like you just go back to someone's piece to camera and you just roll straight into it. That said, it does give you a moment to pull out into this timeline and move up it year by year, and check out, all these little factoids, photos, old box art that you can 3D render and play around with, that kind of stuff, before it then leads you into, cool, this was the first version that Alexei made on a Russian computer, no sound, barely any UI, and you play that. I thought this was going to have close to every version of Tetris. It really does just focus on those first years where they were developing it. There was an Atari version, there was a PC version before it went to Nintendo, to Game Boy, and there were sort of the iterations. There's not a huge amount of variation in that because it is just, again, they are all Tetris, so they're all the same game. They're all just sort of minor step-ups in terms of what the game was adding. It then does move into an era that I wasn't really familiar with that I actually really enjoyed, which was once it was launched with licensed by Nintendo, it was like, where do we go from here? And I didn't really know this existed, but there was... Obviously, I know Tetris has gone on to just be released on everything, but there was a real what's the next? What's Tetris 2? And they were like, oh shit, how does Alexei and how did the team at the Tetris company make it just as revolutionary? And there was a whole nother chunk to this doco that I found really interesting, which was they made Tetris 2 Bomb Bliss, which is, it's got a different name, but basically it's like a version of Tetris with bombs that explode, challenge levels. Alexei made Hatris, which is... terrible. They made 3 versions.
And you can play it in this?
You can play it. I've never heard of Tetris, let alone played it. And I then spent I've spent an hour playing the versions of Tetris, which is essentially a mix between Dr. Mario and I think it was Yoshi's Cookie, where you just you got pairs that you switch left and right and drop down. It was a lesser product, but it was them trying to this difficult second album. Yeah. So I really found that stuff fascinating. And then as the doco went on, I was kind of falling off. I found it less and less interesting as it got closer to the current date because it just became more and more licensing. Where does this game live? But there were a couple little things in there that I'd never heard of before, about things like the bag system that weren't in the original. So people used to say there's definitely a pattern to the pieces dropping in Tetris. And Alexei's like, no, it's random. It is always random. And people are like, no, when I want a long block, I never get one because the game knows. They're like, no, it is random. But then what they did is they developed a thing called the bag system, which is essentially, if you imagine you had a bag with how many pieces are there? Square, S1, long one. Stay with me. Other S1, T shape. 5?
Wait.
More.
Long one, square one, the two S's back to back.
Yeah.
Oh, the two L's.
Yeah.
So seven.
Seven
Pieces. I
sounds
think it
right.
is 7. So if you imagine you put all of them in a bag and you shake that up, then the order is you get all of those pieces until you get a fresh bag. So that means that the long piece could come first in the first bag and last in the last bag, but you will get a long piece in that 14.
You'll get 2 long pieces per 14.
Correct. So that was the system that then they adopted and ran through heaps of Tetris games. It's such a weird little nerdy, funny little development thing that I never knew of. I was like, this is fantastic. The rotation axes, the way they pour over it in the later parts of the doco, I found really, really interesting. And then at the very end, there is a new version of Tetris they call Tetris Time Warp. Essentially what that is you're playing regular Tetris, but if you hit special blocks every 10 lines, they teleport you back to an older version of Tetris where you have a short amount of time to complete a set little challenge. So you're playing the Schmick version and it'll drag you back to the original version of Tetris and say, quick, make 10 lines in that really shit old one. You're like, oh God. So it kind of forces you to play versions you wouldn't have before.
Cool.
And the last thing I'll say is I bought this hoping that it would have the Tetris version on Game Boy, which I lived on. I fucking grew up with that. The old green. The people say outright, and it is correct, it is the best version of Tetris. Even the developers say that is the best version we ever made. It's not in this as a separate playable game, but in the Time Warp game, you can go back to 1988 and play that as a little challenge with like on a UI that's called like the Game Hand color or something with a slight alteration to the music. So clearly there were more licensing issues. That's why there aren't 200 versions here. There's the ones they could get, and there's things like the Downwell version that they didn't have. So I want to see the doco about them making this, going, here's all the versions we couldn't put in Tetris Forever because of licensing dramas. So yeah, if you find any of this kind of stuff interesting, which I do, and again, it's all just based around such a fantastic game, it's really, really a nice little walk through history, specifically to do with this anomaly of like the perfect game that still is very much the best game ever, next to Half-Life 2, of course. But Tetris Forever, it's good fun.
Good stuff.
And once the music starts, you're like, oh, I'm fucking back in. Like,
yeah.
It's just the remixes of it all and everything.
iconic thing ever.
Go Russia. Good for them.
No, Russia bad. Ruby, tell us what you've been playing.
Howdy. So I'm going to talk about 2 games very short, in short ways, because the first one that I played was a pretty short game. It took me about 10-15 minutes to play. And then the second one I haven't gotten super duper like balls deep into yet, so I can't talk about it super at length.
You also don't have balls, so
You also haven't said what the game is.
Yes, I do.
Manscaped.
okay.
Yeah, I got a bunch of homes. Squarespace. So first one I want to talk about is called City of Piss. And the name is very like intense, but basically for a little bit of context, I went onto Twitter and onto Blue Sky asking people what the best narrative games of this year were to them, as I'm putting together a list for some cool end of year stuff we're thinking of doing. So City of Piss by Siobhan Dent was a game that was shouted out in that thread, and I was like, oh, that sounds awesome. I'm going to give this a freaking look, expecting it to be like kind of crazy and gross and wacky, and instead is like this kind of beautiful, introspective like experience that like there's like this representation of like self-realization and self-growth, but also returning to what you know and what you've loved in the past, for a sense of comfort and to learn more about yourself. And it's done so in this really like low key but silly way. And I think uses the representation of self in both a like sincere way, but also a post-ironic, funny, silly way really well. Because I feel like, a big thing about, who we are as people that, doesn't get talked about as much as like, what's in your heart and like how you treat others. It's like your sense of humor.
Yeah.
And I
And
feel.
what's in your piss?
Where to piss at?
And what's in your piss?
Piss,
Well,
piss,
the
piss.
City of Piss is right there. It's the city made of piss. And so basically, you're walking through this world, reading these signs that have these voiceovers done by, I'm pretty sure they're done by Siobhan. And they're like these poems that kind of give you an idea of her thought process when making this game, when making this world that is very clearly a representation of herself. And,
Josh, cut before we get to the city of piss because I want to experience that for myself.
And the things that she loves and has loved in the past. It kind of feels like this weird
It's not really a
dream.
city, is it?
Yeah, we're not there yet.
It's a dream
So,
of piss.
My dream every day, bro.
but once you
love
enter
pissing.
the city of piss, you meet all these different characters, and they're all like licensed characters. So you meet Joe from Family Guy. You meet Solid Snake.
Oh,
You've got
please stop showing us this game.
no,
I don't want to see any more of it.
Oh.
Didn't you say it's a 15-minute game?
Yeah.
We've just seen a third of the game.
I've seen that the guy from the Brain Trainer on the 3DS
that's
is
that's
in it.
the game. I want to
He-
see that shit.
is he
But
still
you-
like,
please
you're
keep
stupid?
talking
yeah,
about
okay,
it.
we'll stop
Yeah.
showing it, but I
Yeah.
do really want to talk about it.
Yeah.
So it's got all these different characters, very like quite funny and silly at part. It's really interesting getting thrown back and forth between characters saying funny, silly stuff. Like you've got Markiplier running a market stall, but his name is Marketplier and he's selling pliers, and you can buy the pliers, and every
I'm
time.
out.
Well, I don't fucking care. I'm talking about my game. Shut up. So he says pliers, and it's funny. But then also,
You went back to that.
of
say
course
more
I
about the
did,
pliers,
because I
Ruby,
was
yeah.
talking, and I'm going to return to what I was saying.
I'm just worried that you're gonna explain the like.
I'm not
the
going to
jokes of
explain the entire thing.
it. Yeah. No,
So-
I don't want to. I'm excited to play this. You've sold me
Yeah,
on this.
yeah.
I don't want it spoiled. Is all I'm saying.
Okay.
It's such a short experience.
But that was just an example.
Yeah.
Like
Let's go.
something like that.
Yeah.
And then meeting a character and they say something like, I'm not looking over my shoulder anymore. And it's like, oh, there's a sense of comfort. And that
sure.
comes from living in the city of piss.
right.
And so it's, you're walking through this area and kind of learning more about Siobhan. as a person.
Is that just through those signposts, or
It's
is
through the
that-
signposts. It's through the characters you meet. Like it's
That
like
wasn't just a setup thing that you then go into the characters. That continue the signposting / the narrator, or sorry, the creator talking to you continues through the whole experience.
yeah. Not. I don't think the whole experience up until you get to the end, because all these characters are kind of they're talking from as them as them in the city of piss. It's not until you get to the end where you kind of meet you meet Siobhan again, and it's quite beautiful. You think it's going to be this joke because it's called the City of Piss, but it's actually this really beautiful game made almost as like a visual and interactive representation of a safe space that Siobhan has created within her to be herself, which I think is really beautiful. I think it to me it is a really cool, silly, and nice example of like video games as self-expression. And I think it's awesome. So it's on itch.io. If you want to check it out, it rocks. All of her other stuff is on itch.io as well. She's got another game called Monomyth, which this game is the spiritual successor to it. But yeah, it's sick. So that's that one. The other game that I've started playing and been really enjoying is Great God Grove, which came out just the other day, I'm fairly certain. And it is, God, this game is cool. So Great God Grove is a narrative adventure where you're basically a god mediator. So the world is in disarray and the sky is tearing apart, and none of the gods care because they're all bickering with each other. And so you are equipped with a megapon, which is that little mouthpiece you've got holding in your hand, and what it does is you can suck up lines of dialogue that characters say and shoot them at other people.
Whoa.
So
Interesting.
you are literally a verbal mediator in the sense that you are taking other people's words and throwing them at whoever needs to hear them.
That's sick.
In like a puzzle solving kind of sense.
Yes,
Yeah,
in a
okay.
puzzle solving sense. And it's done in a few different ways. Like there's really obvious ones. For example, Bugworth here wants to confess his love to another character, and he wants you to send them a letter, but they don't want to hear that. They don't want to see the letter. They want him to say that they care for them directly, and so you have to do so by taking the words from him and then throwing them at them. Then there's other ones where like it's not super clear what that person needs to hear, and sometimes it's like you take something that someone said metaphorically and throw it at another person to mean it literally. Like someone's asleep and you need to wake them up by taking. I don't want to spoil it.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
But there's some clever puzzle.
Yes.
It's not just literal moving the right word to the right.
And I guess
Yeah.
playing
Yeah.
on words can literally be that. You can play on the words to
Exactly.
make them actually
Playing on the words, playing on the phrases, and
Yeah,
like
cool.
it's really neat. I visually just so cool, but not just in this sense. There are kind of different parts of the game that require different things for you. You're always using the gun in different ways, but
It's not a gun.
It's a mouth gun.
it's a mouth gun. It's like a megaphone vacuum cleaner. And you're using it in different ways, but like in the game, you'll have like these moments and then 3D like first person moments
Whoa,
where
wicked.
you start the game in that 3D.
Where it does become a gun and it's doom.
You start the game in that 3D perspective, like first person perspective, talking to this guy on a ship. And because you aren't using the gun yet, and also some things that they say just require a yes or no answer, instead of choosing a dialogue option, the game makes you shake the camera up and down or shake the camera left to right,
cool. It's wicked.
which I think is really neat. As well, there's puppets
I
in it,
saw in the
like
trailer.
live action puppet sequences. They're usually done to deliver like what's the word? Like throwbacks.
It's like context to what's happened
Yeah,
here.
yeah. Like context within the game, almost
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
home movies type
Okay, yeah,
thing.
cool.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you're a guy that's just been dropped into this situation. You get given the gun. Keep getting called a god poke, and I think it's because you're poking the gods into speaking to one another. That's just me. But yeah, basically what you have to do, as well as helping people throughout the land, is kind of force everybody to talk to each other through taking their words and giving them to other people. It's very fetch questy, but it's done in a way that's really, really clever. And it just looks gorgeous, and it's written really well in the way that it's funny as hell, but it's
Seems
also everyone's all the writing is done in accents, so you're reading it in accents.
I was going to
and
say, it
it's very
seems like
silly.
it's simplified the language so it can be weaponized or used and broken
Yeah.
up. But that's actually
This is the way that this character talks.
totally? But
Yeah.
some of the other ones as well, sort of speaking in truncated phrasing, or it's just a way to make it it makes the sentences be a bit more pointed.
How does it make? I see lines around that. Can
Yeah.
you steal that?
Yeah.
Is that what that's implying?
Yeah, so that's what that
So you
implies.
can take that,
And
and
you
know
s-
what you can take. It's not just like in
Yes.
mid conversation. It's like, I wonder if that's useful. You see the pieces of
Right, and then you keep
Cool.
them as an inventory of them.
Yeah,
P here.
but it
Isn't that Piss City?
P here.
That's how you make
P here.
P.
yeah. But
They're all connected.
throwback to a few minutes ago.
I'm the puppet.
Whoa,
But-
that was ages ago.
The thing with this game as well is your inventory is limited the whole game. You only have 5 spaces.
Short-term memory.
And every bit of dialogue that you collect if you throw it away, it just goes back to the same person. So you can just kind of go back to them and get the dialogue from them.
What are the gods? Is Robert a god? Or are the gods Zeus and stuff?
They are like gods in the game.
Okay.
They're sorry.
There's a god of thunder, but it's not from any...
Yeah, they all seem to be quite so the gods are in disarray because humans can turn into gods. That's another big thing in this game, is that humans can turn into gods. And the last human to turn himself into a god was in love with another god, but suddenly out of nowhere started being really mean to that god, and then to like the people of this area was like, these gods, they're no good for you. They're treating you with disrespect. They're not giving you what you want. I can give you what you want. And seems to be doing like overthrowing the gods basically. And so you're trying to like smooth everything out and get everybody to talk to each other.
It's kind of, I watched the trailer for this and I was like quite keen to potentially play it. The trailer had this kind of like wacky, unbridled creativity that I know I'm gonna like set something off here, but it kind of gave me Undertale vibes in the world that was built, in the sense that it's just like kind of everyone is a weird, wacky character, human or god, but like because it serves how fun this story is or how interesting this place is to play in. I don't know if that's like I
see what you're saying. Yeah, it's like every character that you meet feels very unique.
Yeah, and originally written just for that wacky kind of scenario, but there's a bigger story to be told. But it's like, for the sake of the artist and the creator going, it's going to be a funny skeleton here, or it's going to be a weird little blobby dude.
But the art direction is gorgeous.
It really reminds you of like Double Fine, like Psychonauts.
Yes,
and stuff.
and like Grim Fandango as well is like visually
work.
just gorgeous, and
Don't Starve in there.
And I think the giving characters voices through the way that the text is written, it adds to that uniqueness and makes them all feel like their own sort of people.
Is there voice acting?
No.
Oh, do you
Which
think
all
it's
up here.
fine?
Pardon?
Does it work without it?
Absolutely.
Cool. Okay.
Absolutely.
Because you're saying you're reading it almost in an accent because of how it's forcefully written to be like, this doesn't read naturally in my head, so I'm going to almost,
which works perfectly,
cool,
honestly.
But if you're dyslexic, it's a real ride.
Suck to suck.
But yeah, both games I played, very different, but both really beautiful in different ways.
Yeah, cool.
Lovely.
Check them out.
All our games are really beautiful in different ways.
That's so true.
We had Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl. We had Half-Life 2. We had Tetris Forever. City of Piss. And Great God Grove. We'll be back with more Back Pocket after this ad break.
Hold it. Is that really the controller you're going to game with?
Well, sure. Haven't you heard? This one's got all the famous buttons. Circle, triangle, square, X, and more.
Well, there's gaming, and then there's gaming in style. Here, try this.
We are robots. Well, it certainly looks amazing, but what makes it more edgy than my PS Edge back home?
Well, take a guess. How many kills in Call of Duty do you typically get with your regular controller?
Well, I suppose 3.
That's right. And now guess how many kills in Call of Duty you'll get with this We Are Robots themed controller.
I mean, 4?
Higher.
7?
Guess again.
Well, it couldn't be 9.
It's exactly 9.
Well, that's a KD ratio I could get behind. But hang on, what's the catch?
There's no catch. We Are Robots can improve all of your favorite gaming statistics simply by making you look way cooler. And implanting you with nano components through thumbstick injectors for robot-like response times.
What the fuck?
Majestic.
It's time for the game plan, where we turn your Monday fright into a gamer's delight. The long-awaited Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl is finally coming our way, taking you through a radioactive nightmare full of enemy factions and horrifying mutants. Sounds like dinner with the in-laws. Oh, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is the newest entry into the aviation series. This one's got 65 airports, 55 burgers, 55 fries, 55 tacos, 55 pies, and 150 airports. Here's a wee throwback for you. My Sims Cozy Bundle brings My Sims and My Sims Kingdom to the Nintendo Switch. 11-year-old Ruby was a My Sims fiend, and 28-year-old Ruby is very much the same, but closer to death. Toads of the Bayou is a little bit turn-based tactics, a little bit roguelike deck building, and a whole lot of toads. Sounds riveting. And finally, Dungeon Crawler is a roguelike claw machine deck builder that's definitely giving me Neopets vibes. Now, what are you playing this week? Let us know in the comments. Keep going, your booze fuel me.
What the?
Whoa. Thank you.
You good, Josh?
I was like, I've got time to send this text message and then look up and look like I've been paying attention the whole time. Hard cut.
The timer means nothing, everyone. We put it there, but it's really just for us. Welcome back to the show. We had a little ad break there, and in that, we had a word from some Pocketeers. The word was, of course, majestic.
Yahtzee. Oh.
Majestic.
From Magical Mystery Mall, Mary-Kate and Ashley.
Those guys clearly loved watching that game.
It's a great game.
Something else. We also saw the game plan. That's part of our socials. Head to backpocket.gg. You can follow us there and get updates on which game's coming out which week. It's the week that it comes out, and I use it to work out what I'm going to play this week. So I actively use the game plan just to be like, fuck.
It's a good list of games.
It's Tuesday. I got to
you.
find something to play. We also saw an ad in there for We Are Robots, long-time Patreon supporter of the show. We Are Robots, if you didn't know, is a real business and is back up and running after a small hiatus. Their website is now ready to go. If you head to wearerobots.com.au, get your hand on a custom controller. That's the business.
Cool. Not sponsored.
Not sponsored, but we just
like
thought we like them. We've liked making stuff for them. They make stuff for you as well. We Are Robots. They do these like awesome custom controllers, often for
No
well,
way.
yeah, often
No
for like
way.
often for like events and stuff. But then if you jump on the website, you can pick one up. There's a whole bunch of Halo.
Yeah.
That's a donut one.
I've got one of their Cult of Lamb, the
fur one.
the fur one.
Blah.
It rocks. It's awesome.
But you can get a custom controller from them. There's a whole bunch of Halo 2 ones at the moment based on the 20th anniversary. 20 years, Jesus, 20th anniversary. It's the same age as Half-Life?
Me.
And
I
my
feel
sister.
so old.
Oh my god. But yeah, We Are Robots. Go check the website. It's been down for a while, but now it's back, and they are back making controllers. Good on you guys. Keep it up. We're going to keep the show up, and we're going to move into a segment that has the greatest title card of all time. It's not the slop one. What's the slop one?
Back Pocket's next
Don't
slot
say
model.
it. It's Teamakers in Rain. Play that card.
It'd be so funny if this one got cut off.
Don't you do it, Josh. Don't you fucking do it.
In time, like tears in rain.
This is from a movie called Blade Runner.
I've never seen a movie before. Can you explain what that is?
That was Rutger
You ever seen a
Hauer.
show?
Yeah.
That was Rutger
Like
Hauer
longer.
doing
Like
a
this?
Show like this, but long.
Yeah.
Wait, shit, no.
That was a famous speech by an actor that he made up on the day.
He made it on the day. He
made it up.
improvised it.
All these memories will be lost like tears in rain.
Wow. Or tears in rain.
Correct. He's worked
Tears.
the pun out. That's right.
Yeah.
Teamakers in Rain is a segment where what is happening there?
Not
That
sure.
really threw me off.
But I was cool with it.
I wasn't.
Your hands are so cool.
Thanks, I'm young.
And clammy.
Oh no, it's because you.
Thank you.
He
I'm
just went to the
young.
It's
bathroom.
because you did a wee wee and then you washed your hands.
Don't tell them at
You
home.
do-
Sorry,
you
he
went-
went-
you
Don't
went to
piss.
City.
It's a
He did his own
lie.
pissing up there.
Yeah.
Teamakers in Rain is a segment where we rate things on a Teamakers list. This week, we're going to do one that's themed to our guest. But before we get into that, we have to thank the sponsor of the segment. That is, of course, BMAC. BMAC sponsors this. Something to root.
Wait. Yeah. So
Oh, this guy.
it's like you
pees.
fold it like that,
Pull that
but
one
you
in
have
there.
to
Yeah.
put that one off.
Sorry.
Exposed
So
dogs.
it's like
What's
that.
next?
Is that a little finger?
Yeah, little
I don't
finger.
think I can do a little. There it is.
There we go.
BMAC. Thank you for sponsoring the
Thank
segment,
you,
BMAC,
BMAC.
because you're
Thank
a
you,
winner
BMAC.
with a big W there. When
Yeah.
BMAC sponsors a segment, we
I
jump
love
onto their
over here.
website called TLDRmovies.com and we check out a synopsis, a truncated synopsis of a movie. I'm going to read it out to you guys. You have to tell me what movie it's from.
Okay.
It's a TLDR description.
Ew.
that
That wasn't it?
I was expecting a cough.
I'm gonna go with burp.
Correct. The TLDR
Belch too.
is... It was not... If it was not for a strong start, you probably could have dumped this on Netflix and no one would have noticed.
That is.
If it wasn't for the strong start, you probably could have dumped this on Netflix and no one would have noticed.
And this is when did it come out?
Recent. It's
Is
a
this
movie.
like a this year one?
It's a movie that came out in the cinema, but based on BMAC's TLDR, probably didn't need to be out in the cinema. Probably could have gone to Netflix. Probably looked like a Netflix film.
Oh,
Oh.
that's actually to me a dead giveaway. Is it that fucking new
Oh.
Dwayne Johnson one? Is
Oh.
it Red One?
Huh? What's it called?
Red One?
It is called Red One. That's correct. It's
yeah.
Red One.
Guys, Santa's been kidnapped.
Oh no!
And it cost $200 million.
Oh no!
Yeah. Can you believe that?
That's
Christ.
crazy.
What is it?
Chris Evans and The Rock and
J.K. Simmons?
J.K. Whiplash.
And Whiplash.
This guy.
J.K.
I
Simmons is
rewatched
Santa,
that the other day.
but he has a special
movie.
forces group of elves.
Why do they keep
He
making
gets
movies?
the money.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop making them.
It looked terrible.
Was it for children?
I don't know.
No. Apparently, there's almost an F-bomb in it, and it's apparently not horrendous, but it's just
Almost an F-bomb.
well, they get a shit.
Freak.
So they say shit.
They say shit, and I think they say mother, and like something happens.
Okay,
which
that's what gets
you.
me. It's like if you're gonna do a movie somewhat about Santa, like that's for kids.
Well, that's the
Have you not seen Bad Santa?
Ooh.
He's
Oh,
really
okay,
bad.
Yeah.
Also, Christmas movies fucking rake it in. So that is exactly what
Well,
this
not
is.
this one. It's
Right.
bombing.
It's
real
bombing,
bad.
Bombing.
but
It's just crazy that they're trying to like MCUify Christmas. You know, like
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
genuinely, that's like
Yeah.
I saw the
Yeah.
trailer and it felt like
Are there hot elves around Santa now?
there's
you-
probably
You're thinking
like,
Bad
I do
Santa.
it.
there's like secret agent elves, and there's like The Rock is an elf, but he's actually buff, and he fights snowmen who are monsters.
oh, he's an elf.
and
yeah.
Lucy
kinda like
Liu
the-
is like what's
Say
his
no more, I'm
name?
watching
Nick
it.
Fury.
Lucy Liu's there. I'm
Yeah.
in.
There you go. Thank you, BMAC, for sponsoring this segment, but don't not thank you for bringing us Red One. Terrible. Not his fault.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
man.
BMAC,
did BMAC
I
make
hate
the
that
movie?
you made Red One.
Yeah.
Why'd you make that movie?
But we love video games, specifically the Zelda series.
Yes.
There you go. It's here for Snug. Is that why you wore green?
Sure. Yeah.
Is that all you have in your cupboard? Just
yeah, literally. Actually,
little green
this is-
tunics?
It's kind of my lucky.
There's
top.
actually a hood tucked into the back of the shirt that you can
Yeah.
pick up.
little Elfius.
I bought a green. I bought a. What's his name?
we've got a Tingle outfit.
We got a Tingle
Oh
outfit.
yeah, no, that's a cursed outfit. Have you played every Zelda game?
Not every Zelda game.
Have you played most of the Zelda
Yeah,
games?
100%,
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Well, that's what we're going to do. We're going to look at all the Zelda games that I think are on this list. And as usual, we're going to go through them one by one and chuck them on a ranking list from S tier at the very top down to E. And then we also have, of course, the haven't played. So there's a chance for us to throw them in there if we just don't give a shit about it. But I'm just going to pick these, I think, at random because I think they're in order of when they came out. So,
Yeah,
Josh, I
they
need you to
are.
enhance
Pick 'em
at
at
least
random.
once more.
Yeah, why are you picking them at random if they're in order?
Because
That feels dumb to me.
I think it's magical. It's like a little spicy.
Okay.
Oh.
Let's go with spice mode. We're going full spice mode.
Josh,
No,
give
no,
me
it's
a little bit of background music. Doesn't have to be
Pick at
Zelda,
random,
though.
but don't do actual random. put all of these in a little bag.
7 at a time.
And then shake it up.
and then rotate them as they go down. No, we're going to move through these based on which ones we know and which ones we've played. That is not it. That's something else entirely, Josh. Should we be looking at that?
No. I pressed the wrong button.
You did, but it's all right, buddy.
The show.
It's fine. It's fine.
Hello, guys.
Oh, everybody else can still see us?
They can still see
Yeah,
us.
of
This
course.
is just a little
We're down.
thing here. Everyone will have their favorite.
Let's randomly start with
Link's
the very
crossbow
first
training.
Zelda. Oh.
Now we're going to start with Link's crossbow training.
Okay.
Easy S, next one.
S.
Easy
S.
S.
S tier, yeah.
Now,
Is which one's that?
to the right. Okay, we'll start from the start.
maybe
We'll
we'll go in
start
order
from the
then.
start.
I don't
So I
know
realize it's
They're all the
brainstorm.
same.
anything, and I have to run this off a laptop tonight because there's some other shit going wrong. So
Okay, let's start from the
yeah.
top left. Let's go with the very first Zelda on the NES.
Yep.
1980 some. I
played.
reckon the S tier. We got to fight for those though. This is how this
Yeah.
usually works. Like you get your 1S up there, kind of like your Yelp.
That's so
from
crazy
earlier.
to me.
Um,
I've always, I think there are so many beautiful Zelda games.
Okay, I'll rephrase. This
None of
segment
them
is
are
fighting
S.
Ruby to get everything out of S.
Okay,
They all just live up there.
All right.
Because aren't video games all S?
The first
Yes.
Zelda, not an S.
Not an
Nice.
I
S.
haven't played it.
It's like a high B.
It's
I'd say, yeah, I'd agree with
I
that.
would say yeah. B.
Yeah.
I'd have
Solid introduction to the series. It established it's memeable. Dangerous to go alone. Take this.
But-
it sets up a really beautiful fantasy setting in the words that it chooses. But it's a very simple game.
It's also almost impossible to go back. For me,
no,
I've gone.
yeah.
I love so much Zelda. I should have played this to fruition. I've gone back so many times and been like, I hate this. I'm so bored. I don't know where I'm meant to go. Very confused.
Disney and Google about video games 5 years for what you did. That is a throwback when we first started
Wow.
doing this.
Also, what a username.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing in YouTube?
right.
But thanks for the comment.
welcome to
Appreciate
the
it.
YouTube
5
comments.
years for what you did. What a callback. All right. First Zelda goes into B, which means that this one has to go lower. It is, of course, Zelda 2 Link's Adventure. Side scroller. They just did away with the top down thing straight away.
Yeah, I appreciate they tried to do something different, but
Yep.
it was bad.
It was not good. I think it's a D, potentially an E. Do we go E? We got to save
feels a
E's for
bit
some
too
real
harsh,
E's
don't you
harsh.
think?
All right,
Or-
let's
We're
put
gonna
that
save that for the
Because there's some bad ones.
crossbow
off to
training.
D.
Hey, wait.
You go in a lot of people's houses in that one, I remember.
Yeah, it's like the shovelware
Yeah.
one.
I think we can happily put our first S here. This is Link's Awakening, Super NES.
I would say high A personally.
Yeah.
High
it's an
A. All right, let's move it to A with the potential to go to S.
I don't think so. I don't think it has any
Interesting.
Well,
potential.
is
think
the
that's zero
remake
potential.
on here?
Ooh,
The
Link Between Worlds?
the Link's Awakening remake. It is.
Oh. Oh, wait, sorry. Was that Link's
no.
Awakening or Link to the Past we just put in?
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Link's
sorry.
Awakening.
We might have done Link to the Past. What was that one, Josh?
No. That's the original Link's Awakening.
Oh,
There.
okay.
And
There's
then there's a
also the
remake.
remake from a few years ago.
Wait, Link's Awakening is the Game Boy game.
Yeah.
Yes, and there
You're
was a
thinking about
remake
Link
for
to
the
No, I know
Switch.
that. I'm thinking Link to the Past.
Yeah,
Link to the
I was
Past
thinking
is
that one
S.
too.
I think the Past is
Josh, zoom in on that one we just put up there.
It's Link's Awakening.
A Link to the Past is the next one.
the one that we just put in A is Link's Awakening.
Okay.
Yes.
A?
Yeah, so I thought we were talking about Link to the Past. That's why I said high A.
I
Okay.
think
Link's
Link,
Awakening is like
It's
the
a
actual
Game Boy.
sequel to the first one.
yeah, it's
It's the one where he wakes up on the island.
Yeah.
It's got some really obtuse puzzling that doesn't like actually, and not in a fun, clever way. In a way that's just like you'll never work this out unless you brute force it or call the Nintendo hotline.
Which is that was the style of the time.
yeah,
Yeah.
The style of the time.
but it hasn't aged well in that sense.
I
I
was
think
the Game Boy, remember?
I think it is
was rough.
I think it's a better version of the first game, and the first game is a B.
Yeah, okay, all right, I'll concede.
These
that.
are all good games.
yeah.
all right.
Like the D here is like better than every Astrobot game.
Moving on to A Link to the Past. Josh, is that what I'm seeing next? This is
Yes.
S.
Is that a Link to the Past?
Yeah.
Yes.
That is S.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's where it like went, okay, we can do the top down thing and we can just add so much polish to this.
Yeah.
That established this as like it's gonna
Yeah.
have the longevity that it deserves.
Well, a lot of people give Ocarina of Time the credit for the formula,
Oh,
but
we'll
it was
get to
this
that.
one. It was this one, I
Totally
think.
was.
that
It totally
Yeah.
was. This is where the kind of story structure
Yeah.
kicks off.
Josh, either enhance or tell us what the hell am I seeing?
These
here?
are the
I
two
can't
CDI
even-
games.
I can't see
The,
this
oh,
one.
This is Faces of Evil, and then the next one's Wand of Gamelon.
the
Okay.
Philips
Yeah.
CDIs.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, excuse me.
S.
I haven't played, so
S.
I can't fight against it. But again, I would say the S should have like 4 or 5 games in it. at the end.
Yeah.
Wait,
so
did these have the
both
hand-drawn
the-
cutscenes?
Huh? Yeah,
these have the hands
this
of
is
the
like,
excuse
Yeah.
your boy, you can't do that with enough rupees.
Yeah. That was good. Oh my god.
Have you played them?
No, I don't even know how you
Have
play
you
them.
played them?
I've watched them because I
Okay.
haven't been able to play
I
them.
haven't played them. Peter hasn't played them. They don't have to go to haven't played, but they are not good. They are just memeable, Ruby.
From
Like
accounts.
the Stussy S.
Yeah, the cool
The
S.
S to you is the Stussy S.
What do you know about
Wait,
them?
wait.
Well, like
critically?
everyone knows the memes,
Nice.
right? But
Yeah.
from accounts what I've heard, like the actual gameplay is dog shit.
That's what
like,
I've
They're
heard.
it's
dog
not-
shit, but
it's
if we're
super-
talking influence and how
They're
they
not.
how they
Whether
not what
they're
this
good or
is.
not.
It did make that
we
inspired
can.
that
That's true. We can.
Games
But
can
we
be
won't.
anything.
We won't. Oh, they're
D,
D's.
C.
D's.
D.
No,
Like,
E,
are they
come
as good
on.
as the first game?
No, they're way worse.
No,
Oh,
no,
they're
they're
terrible.
They're horrendous
Okay.
gameplay.
Yeah.
They just
Yeah.
have
But they're also
very
amazing.
interesting-
What's this next one? Is
Oh,
this Zelda's Mango?
Adventure. It's
Ze-
also
Zelda's
a CDI
Adventure.
one.
That is
Okay.
also a CDI
Okay,
one.
then
Yeah.
another E.
I think
Yeah,
it
I
has
think
to be.
I've never even heard of that one.
Here we fucking go.
S, easiest S.
Is
As
this
an E, yes.
Ocarina?
This is
Like, I
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
Everyone says it's good, but it is.
Yeah.
My personal anecdote to this is that it was the best game ever made. I played Majora's Mask, and maybe it was the age I was like, oh, this is darker, this has more interesting stuff, and we're going to get to it. So it must be better than Ocarina. I've only still played it once, and I played Ocarina maybe 4 times all the way through, which just shows that it.
Majora's Mask is Shadow of the Erd Tree.
Yeah,
No,
that
100%,
checks out.
yeah.
Which
And-
means it
and
cannot
is
win
an
Game of the
S.
Year.
It can be an S, but it can't be Game of the Year.
I
Is it S?
How do we
fucking is,
feel?
man. To me, it's a more
N64
enjoyable
versions or
experience
3DS versions? Which one?
3DS version is ass, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Really?
agreed.
They nerfed so much of it
They
because
did.
I think Aonuma, the director, was like, it was his first game he ever directed. And I think he was really embarrassed about a lot of the choices. So they really went in and nerfed a lot of things. Like they made a bunch of the puzzles dumb, easy.
They
like-
gave you the scheduling for all the
Yep.
townsfolk.
Oh, what?
Yep.
Yeah, so
And
they made
That's
they made
the
it
point of
like-
the fucking game is to
Yeah.
work that shit out.
But you
gotta have
thought
a
it was good
notepad.
because you were getting like kind of a list and you'd see where they were moving around the town, the map. I think even had so it felt like a feature that you wanted, and then when you played it, you're like, this isn't doing the same
I
thing.
think
it used to
graphically
do.
better.
Oh, 100, yeah, 100%.
Graphically easily
yeah.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let it sit up there as the thing. Like
It's
again,
such a
I've
good
let
side piece to Ocarina of Time. Like, I like
Yeah.
playing them back to back.
You love
Yeah.
side piece, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
how many times have you played
was
those?
so
top-
not-
those
Ocarina of Time, I've probably played.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to be 7 or 8 times. I played it in one sitting earlier this year.
I've wanted to do
Yeah,
that.
it took me 14 hours, and when I hit the 4-hour mark on the stream, some guy's like, by the
You
way,
won't
the
finish
world
this.
record has beaten you by now.
Yeah.
They weren't playing it properly. They were speedrunning, weren't
Yeah.
they?
Yeah,
they
yeah,
got
yeah.
it.
Were they flipping through walls and shit?
Yeah.
You can't flip through walls
Yep,
and shit.
yep. It's good. Okay, yeah. Look, let's move on to the stuff that's either contentious or we don't know because we just know those two live up there in S. So
Yeah.
that's fine. Is this Oracle of Seasons?
Oracle of Ages and
Ages
Oracle of
and
Seasons.
Okay,
I never
so
actually
this
I never
played
played
these
them.
ones.
hands off.
I tried playing one of them and I think it was fine. I just
Yeah, I dabbled. I think they were like they're like Link to the Pasty, but different story.
Game Boy
right?
Color.
Yeah.
And they were sort of like that's when Zelda started doing the almost Pokemon thing of like we can do. They're different games, but they are very similar in that sense. I'd revert to chat on this one if anyone feels strongly about it. Or if they go in they haven't played because I just do not know.
I just thought they were pretty.
I do
I
hear
think they
this
were
a
like
lot.
C.
They're underrated.
Yeah, people say that to me all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
But
Yeah, I don't remember enough of it. But
Did they get it up? Have they had a remake
Not
onto a
yet.
different handheld?
No.
Oh, so they live on that. Oh no, they're on virtual.
They're on the virtual
Yeah.
thing.
Ah, okay.
also, this
so
is
you
the
can play it on
first
Switch
one
right now.
made by Capcom. This wasn't made by Nintendo.
True.
So-
They went on, yeah.
Yeah.
Yemenish camps, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feels
I-
this
I
segment
have
was
no
designed
opinion.
to let you show off your knowledge.
Oh, then I'm a
Feels like
big
it was
fucking
designed to
virgin
someone to know
nerd.
something about it outside of. I think I've played it.
Maybe haven't played for this
We,
one,
I think
'cause-
it's fine for us to say haven't played because
Haven't played
Yeah.
because
yeah,
that's
I
not
don't
good or
remember
bad.
it well enough to.
Haven't played is at the
justifiably put
bottom. It does not imply that this is the below
No.
E. It is just its own category. They sit in there happily, and we move on to
Is that Four Swords? A, easy.
Okay,
Yeah.
I've never played
Easy.
it, but
But
if
you do need
really like it-
friends, so
You
like
need friends,
it's a caveat on that.
so that's the only
What platform
problem.
that one on?
That one was on Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, and then they brought on the DS so you could do that wireless play.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's how I
and-
played it.
Right.
The DS is the best console. I've ever
Yeah, it was
played.
so
and,
was.
and there was a double pack with A Link to the Past
yeah.
and Four Swords, like on the one cartridge, which fucked so hard. It was so cool.
Yeah.
That's what it did say on the box, which is very
This
unfortunate.
fucks hard.
Miyamoto.
Yeah, Miyamoto, this fucks hard.
I remember when I used to go into the forest as a young child. This brings back the memory
Yeah,
of
that's
that
fucking
fucking
hard.
Fucking so hard.
Yeah,
And he does
yeah.
a polite
Okay.
Is that Wind Waker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
S.
No.
I'm gonna
S.
put A.
S tier. S
See,
tier,
this is the
easy.
thing. This is Ruby,
Sorry,
you
this is
need-
my 1S.
This is how this works.
Oh, you do get one S.
It's my 1S.
If you put everything in S, it stops being
Yeah,
special.
which is why this is my 1S. What? I get it. I get my
I want
1S.
to hear. I think this is the worst 3D Zelda.
No, I disagree. I think it's one. I think
Our
it's the
guest
best.
is saying no, so I think we should
No,
be
I'm the guest.
diplomatic
I think
here.
Ruby's
As
got the
someone who
dominion.
hasn't played it, I think I would like to play it.
It's really good. It has famously, hang on, it has famously a bloated end chapter that everyone who played it went, this is unnecessary. This is the start of the Zelda bloat that has then permeated into other Zelda games that it is to blame for. Everything else about it is so wonderful. I actually enjoyed the vastness of it, that kind of thing, but it just it next to Ocarina, you saying it is
really?
Without a doubt.
For me, my biggest problem is what you just said, and also I think the dungeons are really weak. I don't like any of them.
they weren't
I
great.
just disagree. I think this is the perfect
Best dungeon.
ever.
Hold on.
In Wind Waker.
Okay.
Did you finish it?
Toughie. Yeah, of course I finished. Just
It does have a pretty good twist,
second.
and
Oh,
they
yeah,
don't,
that twist
they
is
don't
sick.
often play that
I do.
well.
I loved Dragon Roost Island.
Best version of the Roost Island theme,
Ooh, yeah.
I would.
Well, that's the thing. I consider Wind Waker to be there's a myriad of different things that make it an S tier Zelda game for me. Is I think the shift to this art style was awesome, and to me felt like kind of the beginning of.
Ruby, you have your S.
Thank you.
Do you? Why? I thought there was being argued.
Because that
for.
was the rule.
Our guest is saying it's not an S.
Because everyone gets an S. They
Okay.
they can have a veto.
What I love.
But what about the remake?
There are a lot of things that I love about Wind. Oh, is the remake on the list?
Yeah.
Is
It's
it?
second last thing on this list.
Let's
Oh.
see. Let's see.
Is it better?
Yeah.
It does.
Is it the
fix-
HD? Hold on.
Isn't that the second last one?
No,
No, that's
Tears of the
Tears of the
Kingdom.
Kingdom. But
Oh.
Skyward Sword.
No, I
Remake's
don't think
on
it
here,
is.
I don't think.
Scroll-
Oh, hang on. No, you're
Oh,
right. Middle of the top row.
That's Phantom Hourglass.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
one.
No. I will say it flew in the face of of everyone when it came out. They were like, "This is shit and kiddie and cartoony," and it has aged well.
Yeah.
That's something I would argue that both the art style and its minimalism have actually come round, and people are like, "Oh, it's actually my
Yeah.
favorite." It's like you didn't say that when you were like, "Where's my Twilight Princess?"
Yeah,
sequel?"
I think it's really accessible. I think the writing is really fantastic. I think it looks beautiful. The music is
probably
so iconic.
And I feel like it has one of the, apart from maybe Breath of the Wild, it has the best sense of adventure. Like when you're on the boat and the music's going, you're going through. It's so sick.
It really
yeah,
does.
yeah.
Actually, Breath of the Wild and stuff has a lot to thank for what this did.
Breath of the Wild is so entrenched in Wind Waker to me. That being said, the Wii U version is better.
100%. Yeah.
100% without a doubt.
Where is
Having your map viewable to you at all times while you are playing the game on the big screen, it's perfect.
All right, moving on. Josh, more Four Swords stuff?
This is the GameCube one, which I think's different.
Is it Four Swords Adventure?
Yeah. I've never played this.
I
Because
haven't
back in
played
the
it.
day, you needed the game and you needed the Dual Link thing.
Yeah.
More friends?
Right.
Yeah.
What's this about?
Yeah, I've never played it.
No.
Yeah.
What's the next one? Minish Cap.
Minish Cap
really
rocks.
fucking
I
good.
haven't
Yeah.
played this one.
Capcom's best.
Is it actually Minish
Yeah.
Cap? I know that
Is it?
it exists, but I don't know.
Minish Cap is wonderful.
That
and
is
it's,
Minish Cap.
it's the one where you shrink down and basically bounce between sizes, which is its version of multiple worlds. The cap itself, the bird creature that is actually a
it talks,
character.
right?
Yeah, is actually
It talks to
kind of
you.
the cleverest, or like the most interesting sidekick, I would say, in so many of them. I really like this. I would say it's definitely a B.
I would say A.
I would love it to be A, but I also just think I like, there's other games that should sit in.
I would say out of the handheld
Probably the-
Toon Link games, it's definitely the best one.
I say.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say A.
Yep, I'll take A.
Comfortably.
Yep. All right, lovely. What the fuck is this?
Oh, this is,
Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land.
oh, this is one of
What
the
is it,
Tingle
Rippy Land?
games.
He has his own.
Hosey Rippy Land?
Tingle's got 3 games.
3?
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
There's the Tingle Balloon game and there's 2 Rosy Tingle games.
All right.
So what is this one again?
I haven't got the chance to play them though.
Tingle always starts in E.
No, I'm gonna go on a limb and say Tingle. All 3 Tingle games are gonna be in haven't played because not a single one was released in English.
Really?
So no one here's played any Tingle game.
Are they none of them in English?
None of them in English. They were all Japan exclusive.
They were all exclusively.
Blah, blah, bling, blah. Horrible Cabbage makes a really good point. Tingle got 3 games before Zelda got 1.
Yeah, that's pretty
Oh
fucked
god.
up.
Yeah.
That's so
pretty
it's
funny.
surreal,
Yep.
man.
Yep.
All right,
So-
Tingle Games get to hang out and haven't played. The next game, Josh, is
Twilight
That's
Princess.
Twilight
Prince.
sorry.
The second one there is a Tingle game as well, Josh. Yeah, that one.
yeah, right.
Thank you. Twilight Princess.
Easiest
Yes.
yes my entire life.
Really?
Yeah. Oh.
No.
Yeah.
I've tried to finish it 2 or 3 times, and I love the opening. I love how realistic the art style is. I think I always got to a certain point and fell off like
Yeah.
3/4 of the way through. Was that a common thing with that one?
I think what you were saying about the bloat before, I think some people felt it a lot with this one, and a lot of people say
okay.
it's too similar to Ocarina of Time. But for me, I think this is the best one because it's like the reverse Death by 1,000 paper cuts. I think it's doing every little thing the best out of all the 3D games.
Okay, cool.
That's my
Cool.
opinion,
Yeah, nice.
if I may have it.
You're allowed.
We'll allow it. We'll allow it.
It is funny that
Just
it was
the once.
It's the thing everyone wanted, which was an ultra realistic, best shiny graphic version of Ocarina, and like, but then again, you do put it up next to your Wind Waker, and you're like, it loses something, and it's trying to be, it's like dark kind of like, I don't know, heavily anime-ish kind of vibes to
Yeah.
it, which feel a little wonky.
I think it was really interesting that these 2 games for the because Twilight Princess was on GameCube.
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
it?
yeah.
These 2 Zelda games for the GameCube went thematically and vibally in new word in completely different
It's
directions.
and
crazy.
They also did it
It
as kind of
rocks.
like, cool, that's what we'll do, and maybe every Zelda game from now on will be its own different style.
Yeah.
But in doing this, they very much set up the Wind Waker as its own, like, the art style.
Yeah,
and it's a genre in it.
Yeah.
It's like, cool, well, now we've fractured how these games go.
Yeah.
Which leads into, is that Spirit Tracks? No.
Phantom Hourglass.
That's Phantom Hourglass.
Jeez, which
Spirit.
one was this? This is 3DS.
Wind Waker's no DS. It's the Wind Waker sequel. So you're on a boat
think
again.
so, yeah.
People, I haven't played it, but people don't like this one.
Sorry, it's a Wind Waker sequel. It's on DS?
Yeah.
I think people. I know that people. I know that people fucking hated Spirit Tracks,
Really?
but didn't mind. Phantom
You are,
Hourglass?
I think, review-wise, Phantom Hourglass sits above it. So, look,
But did any of us play it?
I didn't.
no, but
I didn't play Phantom. I did play a
That's
little bit
enough
of
play.
Spirit Tracks, and I got bored.
I love Spirit Tracks, but we'll get to that. It's not my ass, but we'll get to that. Link's crossbow trading. We were going to play that on the show,
Yes.
but we struggled to pull all the pieces together.
Yeah,
You have it.
I
have it.
have it somewhere.
How
I
was
went
it to
to
play, genuinely? Like,
Great. I think it was so much fun.
Is it actually?
Yeah, like I mean, like it's just.
you don't have it anymore, so clearly it didn't survive.
Look, I don't know where it is. I didn't sell it, didn't trade it in. I
it
want
didn't
that
review
shit back.
great. It
Oh
was,
yeah, it's because it was they were like hinting at a Zelda game coming out, and then it was this.
Do you know the story about the inception of this?
No,
So
please.
similar to Majora's Mask, then after the team had wrapped up Twilight Princess, they all got to work on making like a little side story.
Yeah,
and
right.
Miyamoto came in and was like, "No, we should do a shooting on rails game." And everyone on the team was like, "Of course, man, great idea."
Oh, no.
Damn it. He
Yeah.
does like, he'll jump on the next trend and, you know, half the time nail it, and then
Yeah.
occasionally be like, we music? We anything? No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
where
that
did it
came with
land?
the sharp
D?
shooter.
It landed in D. Can you do me a favor, please, Josh? Can you scroll to the top? This is going to sound contentious, but it's going to happen.
You've been
And then-
quiet, so I'm interested
and
to
then
hear
we're
what
gonna-
this is about.
I would like you to close the gap down. I want B to go to C, A's to go to B, all those S's to go to A, and I want to actually see you guys really fight for what should be S.
I agree,
Because
because
if
S
you
gets
go-
flooded.
there's already too many S's up there now, and there's fucking Breath of
How
the Wild
many
to
S's
come,
do we
and
want there?
I think there should be like 2 or 3.
Agreed.
Yeah. But we can do that at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very easy to just give everything a, oh, it's great.
Wouldn't
It's
there
not.
technically be 4 because there's 4 of us?
There's no Zelda game in the world that's worth an S.
What?
They're all
Oh, okay, no,
Your
yeah. Okay, sorry, I forgot that you don't like Zelda. There will be 3 S's because
Yeah.
you don't get one.
Yeah. No, you don't get one. I get one.
No, you don't get one.
Spirit Tracks is next, and yeah, sequel to Phantom Hourglass. Big swing. Big swing. Great fucking theme. Oh, arguably,
The music, you mean?
yeah, the theme song
The whole
to this.
soundtrack is fucking excellent.
It doesn't deserve a soundtrack this good,
No.
but you were right. It is a very laborious adventure.
I just couldn't do the DS touch controls either. Where you're sort of
recently
dragging.
I tried to emulate it
Oh,
and play it,
yeah.
and it just doesn't work. It's the stylus. I don't know if Phantom Hourglass was too, but you led Link with the wand and
And you
then
have to double
tapped to
tap.
roll, and then yeah, did a lot of literally on rails kind of stuff.
I think I did play Phantom Hourglass.
You probably would there were heaps of copies in
On
the
the train to Wollongong Uni.
Josh, while we're doing this, could you just bring up? Could you play the theme to Phantom Hourglass in the background? Sorry, to Spirit Tracks while we're thinking of this.
Maybe.
Thank you. I think it needs to be in.
See? Because there's a lot of good things about it. Like, to its credit, I think it has one of the best depictions of Zelda. She's like,
dead.
Really... Whoa.
I mean, sorry to go back to it. That's something that I loved about Wind Waker as well. It was kind of the first time they fleshed out Zelda,
yeah.
And then you've sort of started to see it more and more.
Is
over the
Wind Waker
years.
the first time the bird people appear?
Yes. They are, aren't they? Don't they come from Zora?
Yeah, they evolved because of the salt water. Or
Literally,
something,
they evolved
apparently.
from Zora. It's bizarre.
Weird.
Talith says, yeah, Phantom Hourglass was the good one. Spirit Tracks was the bad one.
Yeah,
so
okay.
where if we put Phantom Hourglass?
Rito.
But maybe if you're a train head, you just see it completely differently.
Train
Yeah.
spotting. Yeah.
yeah, if you've got train autism, you're like,
yeah, the guy that
this
gets
is the
excited on
S.T.A.L.K.E.R.
This
Zelda.
is the best game I've
what are we
ever
putting it
played.
in?
C? C?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
A
D.
low
It's
C.
it's a D.
I
It's a
think D.
D it is.
Yeah.
Next one.
Skyward Sword.
What do you guys think about Skyward Sword?
Okay, I never finished it, and I remember when it came out, there was a lot. Yeah, boo. There was a lot of stinky doo doo on it. And then it was remade and re-released on the Switch,
Yeah.
and a lot of people turned a new leaf on it.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's like half these Zelda games. They come out,
100%.
people are like,
Yeah.
it's not exactly what I wanted, but they all kind of age well.
Yeah.
I have a real bias opinion on this game because it was just after I started working a good game, and it was one of the first games I got given a copy to be like, hey, it's not out for 2 weeks. Do you want to play it?
Whoa.
And I sat down over the last week of summer and played the whole thing start to finish in the office till 4 a.m. And I was just I think I was swept up that I'd moved to Sydney, had a job in video games, and was playing this
Before it
new
came
Zelda
out.
game before
Yeah.
it came out. I was fucking in love with it. The music, the fact that the score is reversed. Fee is not annoying, but I liked the adventure that. Is this?
You said Phantom Hourglass, right?
No, Spirit Tracks. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
But
Oh my
that's
gosh.
the
But
Wind-
I admit this
because
isn't.
it's like a redo of the Wind Waker,
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. But yeah, Spirit Tracks has a much different track, which
Yeah.
is lovely. So I really liked my time with this, and I always wanted a waggle sword Wii motion thing. It doesn't work perfectly, but but I liked that I got to do it. So it's a B from me, but I'm happy for it. If everyone wants to fight me hard, it can go down.
Here it is. Oh,
Crank it, crank it, crank it.
crank it.
This is just. It's so cute.
And like when you're doing the train, they make sure the music matches the BPM of your train.
Oh,
it's really
that's
sick.
a
Like
nice
Fortnite.
touch.
Like what?
Just like the battle
Yeah.
boss in Fortnite.
It's like
Does that happen, really?
It's like when you jam in Fortnite.
Oh, I really trusted you. I'm so naive.
So good.
Please never trust me. except just then when I say that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think I agree with what you said. Like,
Triple Links gets it. Pan flutes are sick.
yeah, I turned a leaf on it. Like, I liked it, but I think there was so much dumb shit in the Wii version that they sort of cut out. Even then, I think I like it a lot, but I feel like you can tell the team, as good as they are, were just dying to do something new, and I think that's why they went so story heavy with this one. And then I think after it, they're like, no, this isn't
It's
it. That's
very
why they
formulaic as well, and it's
Oh.
very repetitive in terms
It's
of.
not really open, is it?
Go down, do a temple, come up, do that fucking big boss. Okay,
Nicotex said good story, bad game.
C.
See? See?
C.
See, it's looking lonely, that first game in there.
Is this a Link Between Worlds?
Oh, Link Between Worlds fucks.
That game rocks.
That game's so sick.
So good.
I got halfway through it and I respected everything about it, but you guys need to push me either up or down. Like it's
I never finished it, I will say, but what I did
High
play
B,
of it,
I think.
Yeah.
High B.
I'm happy with the high
It's a
B.
high B.
Well,
It's
high
the front
B.
of the B.
Like
Front of
it's,
the B.
it's
Look at that.
not, but it pretty much is just a remake of Link to the Past.
Yeah,
Yes.
but it
not, but it
it
is.
looks better and it adds new shit. So
It's the
like,
one
I
where
think
The
it
painting one,
You
yeah.
stick
Yeah.
to walls and
Yeah.
I never played it, but
a little bit of that. Yeah,
Yeah.
very
And
very good.
That
Hyrule,
was
the
cool,
alternate
man.
one's called Low Rule, because whoa.
kind of goofy. I love it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Well, get the fuck out.
Okay.
Get the fuck out of here.
Okay, Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah, this is like fun fan fiction.
They
Yeah.
are fun.
Yeah.
This is like the B.
Now there are two of them, aren't there? But or was
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
there are.
the
This
the
is
next
just-
one is later on.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this one's just dumb fan fiction. It's like all the Zelda characters are here.
And it's the Dynasty Warriors formula.
Those games always work. It's just
do.
fun slash and shit.
But I would say the sequel is better.
Is better?
Yeah,
Okay.
So I would
C here and a B for the other one, or is it D and a C? Probably a D and a C.
I think it's a D and a C.
It's a D and a C.
Because they are still another
pretty
game.
simple.
They're another formula.
still-
They're
yeah.
just they're a palette swap in that sense. So,
Yep.
yeah.
Is that Triforce Heroes?
Yeah.
I like Ruby sounds like a kid getting a present every year. Oh, is that Triforce Heroes? Oh my god!
Nintendo 64!
What was this one?
This was another Four Swords game, I'm pretty sure.
But with 3.
No, there's 4 of them.
Is there?
Why are
Unless
they
I'm-
called
Josh and Heads.
Triforce Heroes?
4 Force
Isn't there 4 of
That's
them?
what they should be called.
Or am I
Quad Force
wrong?
Heroes.
Can we enhance on
I
that bonus,
never
Josh?
played.
Big legs and little links.
I think it is 3 Swords.
I don't think we can though.
I never played it, but it came out while I was still working at EB Games.
And but
So
haven't played. Looks like it.
I think
yeah.
I played 20 minutes with a friend and I was like, this.
Oh,
That's why you need 2.
so you
fans.
played it. So it's an E.
I would say I don't remember anything about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that,
okay.
that's
Damn.
that's
Keep our
E then.
attention.
Let's make a bold call here and put it in E.
Yeah.
Boo.
Played 20 minutes and didn't like
One
it.
sword, one bow, one staff.
Oh, that's.
Oh, boo!
You
Into
can't
E.
do that. That's
Josh,
E-worthy.
you still with us? Oh, thank you.
That looks fucking
Interesting.
awesome.
Oh, yeah, I'm with
it
you.
looks
It's like-
really cool.
There
That's
were the
thing.
costumes though. That's where like the Link cheerleader thing that
Oh,
comes from.
cute.
Alright.
So,
Again, another.
What'd you say,
big
E?
It's an E.
E.
Strike.
Now this is Twilight Princess Picross.
Oh, S. Easy.
What's Picross?
the-
Like nonograms, like the
Oh, right.
the puzzles I do on
Who
my
has
phone.
played it?
I
And you had, it was on the 3DS, and you had to save up your Nintendo points from other purchases to get. I got it.
Ah,
Yeah.
I like that.
It was
Yeah.
awesome.
And Minute is like, "You're an idiot for not getting that right," and I'm like, "Yeah, I am."
The writing was a little harsh, but sure.
Yeah.
All right, chuck it on the list. Where's it go?
Yes.
Do you like Picross?
This is your call. Put it somewhere.
D? It's what? It's Picross. I'm stupid.
Yeah, I would say mid D even. I think it's a good. It's a good
mid-D?
Picross game.
It's halfway up
I
the D.
play a lot of Picross games, and a big thing for Picross is like UI and how the game plays as a puzzle, and I think it does a really good job.
So we're off Picross. I was like, does it actually change the game at all apart from just a palette?
No,
kind of thing? It
but
is
like,
just regular Picross.
If you like Twilight
It's
Princess,
Picross.
like they remixed the entire soundtrack, which is pretty nifty. For,
That is cool. Actually.
Yeah. So
Can you
This
play
looks
it
like a
anywhere
D
now?
to me.
no, just 3DS.
Okay. Breath of the Wild is
D.
currently floating
Picross is
around
D.
the charts here.
Is that Breath of the Wild?
That is Breath of the Wild.
That's A to be moved to S.
Correct.
Yeah.
It lives there for now.
We'll
We will
discuss
fight
later.
this out near the end of this list.
That's Cadence of Hyrule, and that game rocks.
Yeah, I
Is
never
that
played
the,
it.
that was the
That was the rhythm game, the rhythm
it
fighting
was
game. Yeah,
what's the original
not technically
called?
a Nintendo game.
Yeah.
but
Oh, it's called
Is it Cadence or something else?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
Nep to the Crypto.
Crypt of the Necro-
Crypt
of the
Crypto Dancer.
Yeah,
They're all like
Crypt of the
crypto coins.
Necrodancer.
Yeah, I
on
was
it.
really
Thank you.
excited for this. Looked fucking cool, and it uses the same music, but it's a hard game to play. It's
Yeah.
it's
Like
like
difficult?
yeah, it's nothing like it's a.
Cabbage is calling Breath of the Wild a C. Get out of here.
Nah, I never finished Breath of the Wild.
delete.
I would to me, if this were my personal list.
Hang on,
I'd
we're not
probably
up to
put
that,
it-
we're not up to
I know. I'm just saying, my personal list. I probably put in B.
Okay. Crypt of the Dancing Zelda landed in C.
Oh, I think C. I
C
think
for
that's
Crypt.
fair.
Yeah,
C for Crypt.
C for Crypt. It all makes
C
sense.
for Crypt of the Crypto Dancer.
It rocks, though.
Okay, Link's Awakening remake. Very first
Great.
Everyone
first
loves
new
it, right?
It's
first
awesome.
new art style. You know, cute little toy version of it, kind of thing. Still
It's a B. Formerly an
It's
A.
a B.
I think I think highest
High
B.
B. Highest in
Yeah.
B.
suffered
Yeah.
graphically in
Yeah.
performance and still had the obtuse puzzles, but people like that. They like their nostalgia. Tears of the Kingdom, it's an A. Fight for S if you want it.
Is that Tears of the Kingdom?
Yep.
And what's this one? Oh, that's a new
which
one.
leaves us with Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. I'm 3/4 of the way through it. I like it a lot,
I really love it.
but I don't love it.
Yeah,
I
I
love
played
it.
7 hours and then I haven't touched it since, and I haven't
Okay.
heard anyone
I finished
talk
it
about
the other day.
Is it
and
good
I
all the way
really
through?
loved it. I really, really did. I really loved getting to play as Zelda and kind of seeing things from her perspective
Top
and like
down.
conversations and stuff. Yeah. Well, I mean, like, you know what I mean. Very good.
It's B. It's definitely a B.
I think I'm gunning for the new version of A.
Which is B.
currently B
Correct.
to move up to A. I would put it before Link Between Worlds in B currently.
B. Okay, so down to B and across to and Yahtzee. Okay, they're all our games. Good, healthy mix.
I think
So
so.
healthy.
Not too many and haven't played. Appreciate that. The first S. Let's go around. Everyone just say your S. No fighting, no anything about it. Peter, you pick one S. It would be. This doesn't move up there yet. Just say it.
I think Breath of the Wild is the best game on this
Okay.
list.
I would say Twilight Princess.
Twilight Princess. What? Ruby.
Wind Waker.
Wind Waker.
Easily.
And I would say Breath of the Wild.
Oh, well, there's 3 right there.
There we go. 3.
That was really
I
easy.
guess that gets us a 3.
Should we explain?
Ocarina didn't make it. Who is going to leave the channel based on that? Because I want to put Ocarina, but Breath of the Wild is just...
Can I say my 2 cents on that?
Please.
I think Twilight Princess and Wind Waker are just better Ocarina of Times, and then Breath of the Wild is the best of this new style they're
Correct.
doing.
Yeah. It's...
Did you guys like Tears of the Kingdom?
Not really.
I didn't.
I really did.
Yeah.
It
It's
made
so...
me cry. I
I hated it that much.
I didn't finish Breath of the Wild. I finished Tears of the Kingdom, and I thought the story was really beautiful.
What?
I did.
Wow. Sorry, I'm not trying to. That was really
No,
rude.
that's
but,
okay.
like-
No. Hear me out. Maybe it's because it's for girls. I thought it was a beautiful love story between Zelda and Link. That's my
Do
opinion.
I
Into
get an
the-
S?
Josh, you do.
Josh gets an S. Take it.
What's happening?
He's going to move a cursor.
Yeah, good man. Good man.
Yeah.
All the way.
It like I feel
you.
better. I feel better about that now because like I have played that 3 times and I've only played Breath of the Wild once, and then I played on Ultra Hard or whatever that new mode that came out, and I really enjoyed the first like 3 hours of it. But I was like, I can't keep doing this. Like,
Yeah.
that was an experience. That was a one-off experience. Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom. I don't want to hate on it any more than I already have, but it just
To me,
it's a buffet.
it was just the same game again, but with pointless mechanics. I don't think those mechanics made it a more interesting world to be in. I think it made it a less interesting world to be in.
I think they were showing off in terms of,
That's cool,
what
yeah.
was capable in game design. I thought that was really cool. I think where it thrives the most is in its like the ability to do stuff with your abilities and how bonkers it is that they work.
That was definitely
and then as well the story.
I'm so fascinated.
She
Yeah, me
turned
too.
herself into a dragon in
What
order
is
to
this?
save his life because of love.
I know,
It's beautiful.
but that's a plot point. Is
Yeah.
the story and the storytelling any good? I would say there's never been good storytelling in any Zelda game.
Well, okay,
As it's
that's where
written,
you're
yeah,
wrong.
I see what you mean, but as
It's
it's
like a great-
performed and
it's a
actually
good-
played out to you, it's not done in
Yeah.
a way that makes you feel anything.
Sorry, spoilers. I'm
Sorry.
just.
These nuts.
Wow.
I'm
Just quickly on the
passionate.
building thing again. It is so amazing that works. The underworld. It is so amazing that is even there and that it is what it is. But in terms of my big one that I think it was right up until launch day almost that I was like, hang on. Is it the same map? And they're like, well, kind of, but just changed a bit. And it was done in a way that just made me frustrated that I'm like, I think I know this map, but I don't. Whereas I was like, do Majora's Mask. Give us that building. Give it
Yeah,
the building
that's what I
mechanic. Give us the other.
wanted.
But just fucking take us to a different continent and this is completely different. The weird kind of like, I think I've been here before, just stayed with me the whole time, and I hated that feeling.
100%.
And I think it's because you didn't finish Tears of the Kingdom. It's
Yes, I
because-
did. I didn't
sorry,
finish
not Tears
Breath of the
Breath of the Wild. Maybe it's because you didn't finish Breath of the Wild.
There would
is
have been
that
areas
We'd
that-
already spent 150 hours on that fucking world. It's like you're right. As soon as I landed down there, I was like,
Okay, so that's the thing. No. Like, and I think you're absolutely right on that.
There's a butt coming.
No, not even. I think you're absolutely right on that. And I think kind of really feeds into just how much like my favorite Zelda game is so connected to your experiences with that game and also with other games, like your experience with Skyward Sword.
Majora's
Wind
Mask
Waker-
is my favorite game on this list,
Yeah.
but I don't think it's the best game on this list.
Wind Waker is S to me, not only because I think it's perfect in every way,
yeah, that
but
got up there.
also because it's the first Zelda game I played consciously.
Right.
So like, and then Tears of the Kingdom, I think I loved it so much because it was my Breath of the Wild. Like I didn't finish the Breath of the Wild because I found it really, really hard, and I wasn't at a point where I started like gunning to actually complete things. So hear me out. So when I played Tears of the Kingdom, I didn't have that same familiarity that other people had.
100%, yeah.
And so I had that wow and whimsy of this big world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was what I was saying.
I pressed that little thing when you got the DLC that did the tracker of where you've been.
Yeah.
And it was like, I've done the whole continent 3 times in Breath of the Wild. So I'm like, I can see why I've tread a lot of the same ground here.
There's a lot of criticism of Zelda games that they retread the same ground, but it is why we're all connected to these different games differently. And because they are telling a very similar story with slightly different kind of methods, but it's just a hero's adventure that's always really impactful.
It is the pinnacle hero's journey.
Yeah,
totally.
100%.
And I think like the reason I like Majora's Mask is because it's a spin on that. I could play all of the other Zeldas and I'd be playing effectively the same thing, but they did something different. But that's not interesting without the context of what a standard Zelda game is as well.
Yeah.
So all of these games need to exist. I think that the Zelda as an IP is strong because it reiterates itself
100%,
as opposed to trying to do something entirely new every time. It makes those times it does something new feel really special or flop really hard. But when it nails it, it's a special thing. Yeah.
Super fan, as we all kind of, I guess, are in that conversation to certain degrees, like speculation on what comes next. Like, do they keep diving into this well of giant open worlds?
100%. I think that's what they're going to be doing going forward.
Yep.
I wonder what I worry for them because it's like, how do you keep? What do you do next? What do you do more? Like,
Link's crossbow training too.
That's what it's about, baby.
On that the same fucking Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
I'm just so excited for the next iteration with a different Zelda, different Link. I've been a bit sick of this one for a while. I'm ready for the next one.
Yeah, cool.
And it'll probably be another 5-6 years away. But
I hope they've been cooking something for the Switch.
I want to see a new art style. I want to see something scary.
Yeah,
because that's what everybody thought Tears of the Kingdom was going to be. But I'm keen to like, and look,
which
there were
kind
parts
of was right at the start, right?
Oh my god, yeah. And there were parts of the under area that I properly went like, oh, but it's just because I'm a fucking wimp. But I would love to see see them go Majora's Mask mode again. I'd love to see them go Twilight Princess mode again and give us something surprisingly horrific for a Zelda game.
The fact that Tears of the Kingdom was that not safe bet, but it was that like let's expand on it. Now they have to pivot hard again.
Yeah.
So
I'll tell you what though, playing playing Echoes of Wisdom, even though it was 2D, I felt like for me it was a better balance of like the experimentation with the dungeons that I liked.
Yeah.
I loved Echoes of Wisdom. I thought it was really really clever in so many ways. I will agree with people that said that the fixing the rifts got a bit repetitive, very fair, but the ways in which you're kind of constantly changing your play style in order to kind of fit every new challenge, I think is really, really cool. And then using the different echoes that you pick up, great as well. That being said as well, I think there are also issues with Echoes of Wisdom, like on a base level of like how it plays, like only having the one line. The menu is fucked.
Why would they?
The menu.
Surely someone complained about that in a playtest.
I love the stubbornness of Nintendo occasionally. Like, no, you'll do it this way, and we'll make you do it that way.
We got a raid from Montaigne. I saw Montaigne today.
But also, just back to that list, we should based on Jake's comment, I grew up with Zelda 2 on the NES, so I've never been a diehard, which means Zelda 2 S.T.A.L.K.E.R.
Yeah,
I guess.
So thank you, Jake, for that's because I didn't mention the chat gets one S.
Yeah.
And so they get to put Zelda 2. Josh, you closed the tab, didn't you?
It's already gone.
It's already gone.
So far gone.
It's so gone that the people are upset. They're crying. They're crying tears of the maker. Fuck, he's playing it.
In time.
Where would you rank Zelda on a llama?
Like
That's
the alarm clock.
S, baby. Wake up, Link.
in rain.
Got to watch that movie again. That was Teamakers in Rain. This is my face telling it that there's more Back Pocket coming up right after this ad break.
You fucking nailed that.
Yeah, we got a red.
What the happened there?
Hello.
Go away.
What do you mean?
I don't trust you.
I don't trust you.
Am I safe here if it explodes?
You're fine. Stop.
Peyton's a straight up killer. Reese killed Rin and I just out of complete, total lack of occupational health and safety. Who died?
I flipped out.
What the Is it Peyton again? I don't want to go in the room with her. I'm not going to the room with her. She's coming at us.
Okay, can you hold this for me?
Yes. How does it work? Wait, what? No, Oh, fuck, I did it fucking again. I was fucking them up intentionally.
There's a way of life which grants the grace of eternal divinity, where the waning light of the celestial body pulls through the broad canopy of a silver-winged tree to bring the peace of 1,000 sleeping cabal pups, in which the embrace of a mother Kale and her tenderfoot daughter evokes the ageless whisper of a love deeply known but often unseen. The silent and vigilant persevere for the good of the many, shunned by the arc wielders and the fusion tossers, but closer now to truth than e'er before. Through the thankless act of generating heavy by the power of Aeon's grasp, those chosen may find salvation. And through it all, an everlasting ray. Join your local evangelists of the One Ray Commune today, and bask in the All-Father's rays for evermore. Eva Ray.
And welcome back. We saw a word from Dolphin Pants. Was it
Blood deaths.
deaths?
No, none of the word was death, but we all died. It was Baldur's Gate, but it was just all our deaths. It was an in memoriam.
Yeah, an in memoriam. It was very beautiful. God,
Very
what a
dead.
fun stream. And then we also saw ads for the socials. Follow us or else. And an ad for Eva Ray.
Eva Ray.
Yeah.
And that was
And
really
everlasting.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm signing up to whatever
Whatever
that
church
religion is.
has a good ad.
Yeah, you just gotta Put a bit of money in the bucket as it gets handed around, and then you'll go to heaven. It's pretty easy.
That's how you do it.
It's
Pay your way
that
there.
easy?
Yeah.
Wow.
Simple as that.
Pay your way to the top,
Ooh.
baby.
And now, before we get to our next segment, I want to shout out our business pocketeer, Buri Buri, baby. Buri Buri is an Australian IP lawyer with a passion for working with indie developers. Her work involves assisting game developers and creatives with protecting their IP, securing screen agency funding, and negotiating with publishers. So if you're a working game dev that finds the legal side of the industry to be a bit of a blur, you want to make sure you're getting the most out of your deals with big dogs. Buri Buri will fight for you. And if you don't use Buri Buri, we'll fight you.
Put a little bit of money in the Buri Buri lawyer box, and that'll pay your way to a not guilty. Wait,
Imagine how good the Hyrule Warriors games would have been had Buri Buri negotiated the IP.
Damn.
That's a marriage of two distinct
just
intellectual properties.
Come together.
Imagine just how many Tetris games could have been in the Tetris Forever game.
All of them I dare to imagine.
With,
Buri
Buri
Buri involved
I
in
would
it.
dare.
Buri Buri would have really put a dampener on that Tetris film. Just would have walked in at the start and been like, whoa, hang on, guys. Here's who owns it. Here's who's going to have it. Sorted. And they're like, we have a runtime of an hour 40 still to go.
Buri Buri is the one that's going to make Half-Life 2 Episode 3 happen.
No way.
Yeah.
She's going to get
Because
there.
I own the IP.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're negotiating at the moment.
She'll get in there,
that's
get
cool.
handshakes going between
To the
game.
word episode, actually.
I heard IP stands for I'm Peter. And that's why you own it.
It's true.
That's cool.
So silly, but it made me giggle.
Thank you. so that's Buri Buri. And now it's a time for... Are you talking shit to me?
You talking to me? Okay.
That was such a...
Oh.
That was really...
You fucking nailed that.
Wow.
Wow.
That was incredible. Are You Talking Shit to Me is sponsored by Dumpdays.
Everyone should wake up every morning with a little Nintendo GameCube reel. It just feels like the way to shake out your sillies.
I agree. I agree. So Dumpdays sponsorship, we have a look at one of its comics.
Let's look at it.
Everyone should start every day with a Dump Days comic.
And a dump.
And a dump.
There's
And
two
it is.
characters in this one.
Okay.
And as you can see, a Dumpdays comic is in a
What?
Squarespace.
You definitely need to be doing the blondie.
Squarespace.
The blondie?
Yeah.
Why are there no chippies?
It's a lucky dip. You'll never know what you find.
What? There were chips here last week.
Stuff just washes up here. It's a drain.
Well, Jerry said that there would be chips here.
I don't know who that is.
Well, I want to speak to the manager.
Manager? Oh, it's a drain. Oh, I
You're
get
a
it.
Karen Ibis.
Karen Ibis.
That's what's
Oh,
going
I
on.
love it. Very
Lovely.
good.
Bird.
Love.
You nailed
Bird.
the impression.
Bird.
Bird. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Very good.
You hang out with a lot of birds.
Yeah, I don't want to look.
Seem
at
You
to-
hang out with
Yeah.
a lot of birds.
Oh, do I
Yeah.
know birds? I do.
Oh,
I wouldn't want to brag about it.
Rotten.
What
That's
just
cool.
happened? I just totally missed. I was like thinking about Karen birds, and that just got out of hand over
Yeah,
there.
it did.
Sure.
Everything happens so much.
Yeah.
So with Are You Talking Shit to Me, it is a segment where the three of us are pure of heart and honest like Abe. And one of us is a filthy fucking liar.
Ew.
Are we channeling a lot of what is it? Lockstock energy tonight?
Lockstock Smoking Barrels, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of Guy Ritchie energy at the
rock and
moment.
roller.
Rock and
Yeah.
roller.
I'm a rock and roller. So everybody takes a turn saying a statement out loud. One of us will be lying. Only the liar knows who they are. And Josh. Josh also knows who they are.
Yeah.
But the rest of us are telling the truth. And we have to figure out as a group which one of us is lying. Obviously, the liar is going to lie and lie and lie.
Oh,
Was that a hint? Was that a Easter egg? Look at him, coy as up there. Could be any one of us.
He recorded the game plan
He
today.
did today.
He did.
He was he had a little bit of energy after that. He was cracking gags around the office. It's like, oh, this is a bit of fun. Like any of us when we record it. Like,
Meanwhile, I was arguing with hotel staff.
Yeah. When I heard you on that phone, I was like, whoa.
Josh was like, great energy, and everyone's like, fuck off, not now.
So the leading sentence that we've each been given for our truth or lie is my most
Try again.
rewind. My most embarrassing gaming moment. Mine was just that.
Yeah, that was pretty.
It's a lie.
Yeah, it's a lie.
Lie.
No, but we're gonna start with Peter.
Mm.
Peter,
Okay.
my most embarrassing gaming moment.
Take the stand.
This is only embarrassing in hindsight and because I'm about to say it.
Okay.
Because otherwise no one would have known it happened. But my most embarrassing gaming moment happened in 2002. I was a 12-year-old boy.
When I was born.
And
God.
that is weird. Particularly because of what I'm about to say next. And I was learning about what to do with my erections. And I was fortunate enough to be playing a game called Morrowind at the time. A fucking brilliant game. I had it on Xbox. I didn't have a PC. So I was playing The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind while I had a burgeoning sexuality, let's say. And the House of Earthly Delights was a sex club in the game. So I would go there and watch Argonians dance in their underwear.
Fair enough.
That's all I'll say. But you know what happened next.
Are they the lizard people?
We're all lizard people.
We're all lizard people, metaphorically speaking, of
Dig
course.
down.
Okay. Wow. Who wants to go next?
You.
Wow. Yeah, I got nothing on that. Sure. My most embarrassing gaming moment is the prompt.
Yeah.
Was that I'm going to say year 11 or 12, we had at the end of the year a video game event where they were like, hey, we're going to go up to it wasn't the drama hall, but we're going to go up to the hall and we're going to put a big projector up and we're going to have a GoldenEye tournament up there. And everyone's going to play, and if you beat someone, you can round robin through and there'll be a prize. But basically it was just like, hey, and I think a few of the teachers, like a librarian / drama teacher, was like, yeah, we'll let this be a thing. And we're like, holy shit, we get to play video games on school time. I don't know how this happened, but I think just through my collective group of friends, everyone was like, Gus is the video game player. He's the one who introduced us all to video games, all that kind of stuff. He's going to fucking wipe the floor with everyone. And I was like, shit, there's a bit of pressure on me. But I was also like young enough to be like, yeah, I can wipe the floor with all these, like, they were like cool jocks. They were like, and they were all keen to play it. And I was like, I'm just going to come in here and absolutely dominate this tournament. And I can't remember how it happened because I've genuinely like suppressed this memory. But I went in and in like a 4-player split screen, I was like killed straight away. I had the lowest amount of kills in a round on Complex. I think we were running around and I was out. And there were people who I didn't think they thought I was good at video games who were like, oh, I thought you were awesome, Ronald. And it was like, yeah. And so I was out. Really? And again, I wish I had more detail, but I've just really suppressed that one to the point that I feel like I never lived that down.
Proper embarrassment.
It really was, yeah. You play this all the time. You're not good at anything else. You should be good at this. Apparently I wasn't. So yeah, out first round.
Damn.
Brutal. Yeah.
You.
Well, I don't want to. I just met you guys today, and I want you to think I'm really cool, and this is not going to help that at all. When I was 14,
did you jerk off to an Argonian as well?
That was my second most embarrassing. When I was 14, I really used to be into Team Fortress 2, TF2, and there was one day when I was doing a big marathon, and I pissed my pants because I couldn't.
You didn't want to stop.
I didn't want to stop, and then I was like, oh, it's not that much, and then it dribbled, and then it just kind of went down the whole leg, and I was like, well, it's not like it's everywhere. It's just sort of down one leg, and then like I just kept going for an hour because I was just
payload.
I was literally, and it was on on a 24/7 upward server. So I was like, the rounds never ended.
You got to keep getting those points.
I had to keep getting the end, and and then my mum came in and she got very mad at me.
That's definitely a 14-year-old story of going like, you know what's more important than relieving myself in an adult way? Team Fortress 2.
But the thing is, if you play longer, you get the crates that drop, and then you get the weapons. I was like,
try explaining that to your disappointed parents who are like, there sits our pride and joy in his own piss because he likes video games more than. Oh wow.
Yeah,
that's rough, man.
That was a stinky chair afterwards too.
Yeah, would be.
Middleton's pointing out that Harambe died that year as well.
I had nothing to do with it.
Snuff pissed himself, then Harambe died.
What a
Anyways, I hope you guys still think I'm
Rocks.
cool.
Well, I think you're cool because mine is very similar.
Yes.
Oh,
Piss
no.
City, baby.
Except no piss.
Oh.
Oh, shat myself.
No shit. But instead,
You
I
gonna pee?
what was I
I just was
playing?
disappointed.
Oh, okay.
I remember the memory, but I don't remember the game. But I was playing a game while I was very, very sick, and sneezed without covering my shit. And I was so unwell that the force of the sneeze also made me throw up. And I threw up on my keyboard and sneezed on it at the same time. And it was fucking nasty. And I had to throw it out. Like, it wasn't even like
Didn't power on through that
no,
file?
no, it wasn't even like I can clean this and fix it. I had to throw that fucking
I
thing
powered
out.
through my piss, so that just says a lot about your character.
Oh my god, yeah. Well, I was
You're a quitter.
no, and
You're
it's
a
right,
one
Dolphin.
puke
I
quitter.
snomached. I snomached.
Oh, God.
I was really, really sick.
That shouldn't be biologically possible, and yet
Yeah.
I believe that you did that.
Yeah.
I agree that I don't think a lot of things you can't do at the same time, but a lot of things can trigger a spasm into the next one.
It
can
was
be
probably like I can
cough, sneeze, vomit,
somewhat
shit.
recreate it, like nothing
Don't.
coming out of me. But it was like because the sneeze happened and then that triggered a gag and then I threw up. So it was like a. Oh my! So like it was fucked.
Have you ever done that again?
No,
snommage?
but every time I brush my teeth, I gag.
Yeah, I did that too.
Right. And you go, it's snommit time. I bet
That's just not like
It's snommit time.
I can put it all the way
do
down.
it again.
I can
No,
put it all
don't worry,
the way
Catherine,
down.
you know.
Hi everyone.
I can put it all the way down.
Yeah.
I use the back of the brush to do the tongue thing. Is your back of your brush the back of the head of your brush?
yeah.
Sort of thing?
Yeah.
Oh,
Makes
straight
me
down there.
gag
Yeah.
though.
Haven't you've seen the Mitchell and Webb?
How else do you clean
sketch,
your
haven't you?
esophagus?
I just suffer the consequences.
Oh, okay.
You've not seen the Mitchell and Webb sketch? What if we teach them to? What if you tell them to brush their tongues? It can't be done. Okay, so going around the room, sexual awakening to Morrowind.
Yeah. And it wasn't just Argonians. They were all fucking hot.
Okay. Pissed yourself playing TF2.
Yeah.
Snommeted playing something on a keyboard, and lost whatever little cred I thought I had at school in a GoldenEye tournament.
We'll get the mods to do a poll up so chat can vote on who is lying as well.
We'll put a poll up there and let you guys do that while we try and
One of
pick.
them's a fucking liar.
It's true. One of us is a liar.
That's true. Does anyone
Is
have
it
any
me?
idea on who they would like poke a hole in a story potentially?
I know I'm the guest, and it would be rude to start.
Please stop
Please,
poking.
come on.
Someone in the chat said I gotta agree with him. Your story was kind of vague and also not that embarrassing. So I feel like what you've done is you've lied by saying a not that embarrassing story, and there's one that's more embarrassing.
It's also going to be a humble
very
brag because he's
interesting.
going to be like, and I won.
Yeah, yeah,
It's not a half truth; it's a reverse truth
Yeah,
where it's
yeah,
actually
yeah,
like
yeah,
I
yeah.
was amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't snom it. I shat myself.
Oh yeah, but you did.
I genuinely feel like I pushed that memory aside a little bit, but I do remember like, I have names of people I know who I thought were kind of cool at school, who were there in that room, who were like actively going, Ronald, you're meant to be awesome at video games, and how that tournament was played. It was a round robin, but it was in. I know.
How
I
old-
can
how
play
old are
myself
you?
there.
I just think more
Blinking the-
embarrassing things have happened to you since then.
To be honest, and chat knows this as well, if you're a long time watcher of this show, most of the embarrassing stuff that's happened
You've
to me,
said it.
I've told you guys.
Yeah.
You know this. So that stuff, I'm actually not that embarrassed to talk about.
Yeah.
Snobbeting or something, happily tell everyone. That's material, that's content. This stuff keeps me up at night. This thing is like my 5 memories from school, or the things that I will remember from school. This was one of them.
How
that
old
was
were you?
like, it was in year 11 or 12, so I would have been 17 or 18.
Right. Yeah.
So it's
those are
enough that I
times.
was like,
yeah, shame.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a year. I don't think it was a year 12 muck-up week kind of thing, but it could have been.
I also think that, like, you don't strike me as a pant pisser.
Me?
Yeah.
I was
reckon you got-
14.
I reckon you got solid bladder control.
He did run off in the
I had to
first
run to the
outbreak like
piss.
very fast to take a piss.
Yeah, because he knows how to use a toilet.
He was
Yeah,
like looking at the city
because-
of piss.
because
yeah.
because
it's happened
of the
before.
accident.
It's happened before.
I mean, I can piss myself now if that'll prove it.
Please.
That'll get. Thank you.
Manscaped.
I know what you mean.
Squarespace.
I feel like it's actually quite hard to piss yourself. Like it's something that I would genuinely be like,
By the
if,
time you're
as
14,
it starts
you've,
happening,
you've been trained to go to the toilet.
for me, as it starts happening,
My potty training ended at 13.
I would then be like, fuck, get up and run.
If
like,
it adds more context, like I knew I had to go.
Yeah.
For like,
no. That
it was like
clear.
2 hours.
You made an active decision to piss yourself rather than leave the server.
Yeah.
yeah.
I get it, but you
Alright,
can
we
piss so
have-
quickly.
We have the results.
Okay.
With 44% of the vote
Yep.
is Peter.
They think I'm lying.
I think Peter is a liar.
All
Next
right.
it was Gus, and then Ruby, and then Snug.
So Peter, Gus, Ruby, Snug.
But it was 29% for Gus.
Okay.
So a big jump.
The thing that I saw from Blinky in chat was, I think Peter's lying because he's not embarrassed. He's proud of it.
Yeah,
But
fair
sometimes the
enough.
more embarrassing it is, you get to an age where like, I don't care.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have told that story a few
Yeah,
years
like
ago, but
snobbering's
now I don't
fine.
give a shit.
I think
what
like
we do is maybe I'll bring some of this in, and I'll say, I want the liar to stand up in 3, 2, 1, and
Yeah, knew it.
Oh! The bluff! That was great.
I've never pissed myself for the record, and I fucking shame the people who have.
It doesn't matter because the clips that are going to get shared are getting shared right now of you saying I pissed
Yeah.
my pants playing
I'll
Team
have
Tetris.
you know that when we do the
It's
YouTube
already out
edit
there.
of this, we will edit you out standing up.
Piss
Well
boy.
done. Is
Piss
it
boy.
Bravo,
like congrats,
well
but
done.
also
Yeah.
you convinced us you pissed yourself?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
What does that say? Yeah.
what does it say about you?
to bring your phrase back up. What does that say about your character that we believed wholeheartedly
Yeah.
that you and audience believe that you're a pant pisser?
Josh actually told me 6 weeks ago I was going to be the liar. So I've been going to acting classes.
Yeah.
I've got a psychological coach.
Yeah.
I've been watching you guys on repeat 24/7 every day to find the tells.
You pissed
I
your pants
trusted
at
you,
home
man.
just
Yeah.
to like.
I trust you with my stomach.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, the stomach.
And that broke my heart, but I had to do it.
I imagine what
yeah.
Pete said. You would have
Fucked
said at home, you would have method pissed yourself just to know what that
you-
felt like.
you've
To be like,
pissed
that's
yourself
not what I
heaps
did.
in the
Yeah.
last 6 weeks. Just
So
to
now I know-
how it feels.
And how
to
it feels.
describe it,
I'm
yeah.
full method, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well
full
done.
method.
Bravo.
That was
so
really impressive.
Pete, you tricked chat. Well done.
Was that the point? I didn't. All I did was tell a heinously embarrassing story about how I used to masturbate to a video game.
I mean, we've all been there, and we've all talked shit to you. Card?
That is our show.
Now to a sponsored segment.
Nah, it's ages away. It's ages away.
Yeah, don't worry
we
about
got a
it.
beat
Oh, that was fun. We've only done that, I think, like once
a
or
few
twice.
times. Yeah.
Can we get the full can?
Beautiful.
Can we get
Scotty's
the?
sleeping on my foot.
Doll.
Yeah, that's happened.
It's really cute.
She's not
loves
sleeping
it.
on my feet for some reason.
loves
I
a little
can't
bit of-
tell why.
Because your Crocs are gonna get her.
Because I'm wearing
You're gonna
Crocs,
get her.
baby.
Snug.
Hey, what's up?
Where can people see you?
In my house or like on the internet?
You're welcome to invite people over to your house if you want.
Come
You
to
can-
my house, guys.
throw
It'll
a
be
party.
fun.
Yeah.
You can find me on youtube.com/@snugboy. Or that's the main place I'd like you to go. You can also go to Twitter @RealSnugBoy or Blue Skies @SnugBoy.
What are you working on next on the old YouTube video?
There should be a video out Wednesday, perchance, about High School Musical, the first one.
yes.
And if it holds up in the current year.
You gotta get your head in that game.
Spoiler
gotta
alert,
get-
it do.
It do.
It do.
I watched
Yeah.
a clip the other day of Zac Efron. The sets in that fucking film are crazy.
They
are very cool.
Have
In
you
front
watched-
of the big banners and he pulls them, rips them
Have
down.
you watched the entire sequence of Bet on It from
Incredible,
the second
yeah.
movie?
No.
Otherworldly.
Which
only
is
saw
the
the
one where
first
they
one.
go through the kitchen and hit things, but
That's
I've watched
number 2.
But I've watched the Foley
number
where they
2.
take the music out.
I've seen that. I've seen
Yeah.
that.
That's good.
Awesome. And again, for anyone who wasn't watching at the start, you do YouTube sort of video
Yeah.
essay style,
Yeah, I'd
deep
say so.
dives, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, videos on things that I like, but like silly.
Yeah.
But
And
silly.
fun and like
Yeah.
really nicely put together.
Whoa, quirky. What'll we do next?
We got a video editor right here.
I think
Look at that,
wait,
more of that.
if
Yeah.
I'm remembering PAX correctly,
Yeah. Oh,
I
that's
talked to
right.
you for a video,
Yeah,
right?
and if you like Evangelion, wait till February next year. That's all I'll say.
So exciting.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a big tease.
Interesting.
Yeah. And
Valentine's
also I like
Day?
Huh?
Valentine's Day drop?
Yep. And also I'm going to piss myself on Valentine's Day.
Fuck
So
yeah.
it's a double Snugboy whammy.
I
Well,
think
these
we're
are
all
good
gonna
reasons
piss
to follow
ourselves on
Snugboy
Valentine's Day.
everywhere. Next Thursday, we don't have a normal episode of Back Pocket. Loki is very busy at the moment, but Ruby and Josh are around. Community game night. What are you playing?
Community game night, baby. It's not just Ruby and Josh. It's Ruby versus Josh.
Wait,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Really? I didn't think that was how it was
I
going to
didn't
go.
set up
Yeah.
this.
Okay.
So it's we're playing Death Note Killer Within.
But I can never lie to you, so I don't know how we're going to do
He's
that.
lying right now. That was a lie.
This
That
is
was a
weird.
lie.
Liar?
You got
No,
tricked.
you've lied to me before.
So that's a team-based game where the audience can play with you?
Yes. So it is a. What was that voice? I sound
Social
like
deduction.
a demon.
I don't know.
It is a 10-player social deduction game.
Awesome.
5-a-side teams where one side is playing for L, who is the hotshot detective guy, and then the other side is playing for Kira, who is the boy who thinks he's a god.
Like I take a potato chip and I eat it. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, really good.
Death Note.
Death Note.
Gotcha.
So it's one of those animated shows out of
anime.
Japan.
Yeah.
No, mate.
So there's
4 slots. Oh, sorry, 8 slots available.
pretty much 8 slots available. If you want to be a part of it, we'll be dropping a Google form in the Discord for expressions of interest. People in the gold tier get priority.
Nice.
So if you want to play, you just fill out that form when it gets sent out, and if you want priority, you should join the gold tier.
And that's going to be
Absolutely, you should.
instead of a show next Thursday.
And that's instead of a show next Thursday.
Yep.
But yeah, it's going to be me and Josh and 8 of you.
And tonight, the show goes on. There is no post-show. Ruby and I are about to jump in and play some Lego Horizon Adventures for the next couple of hours. But that is a wrap for Gus and Snug on the couch. We are going to take a little bit of time switching across, so stick with us while the credits roll. You'll see it happen. But thank you for everyone who's joined us for this part of the show so far, and for those of you who support us on Patreon, particularly the gold tier, where you get access to community game nights and a bunch of other content that's going up on our YouTube channel. So please check it out. Check us out on Patreon, and you can find us at backpocket.gg for links to our Discord, our socials, and everything else.
One thing.
Please.
The playbacks, I'm just going to say it. They're going back on the regular channel. I'm doing that.
Executive decision. It's
Executive
happening.
decision.
They're going back on the
The
regular channel.
Dragon Age 1.
He can do it.
The Dragon Age 1 went up. Nicotex pointed out an error. I pulled it off the highlights video channel. I'm going to put it back on the regular one now with that fix up. So the playbacks, the Dragon Age 1 in its all edited glory will be going up on the regular channel on YouTube. So go make sure you're following that. But also go follow the highlights one for the shorts. That's where all the shorts and the game plans and things are going as well. Peter.
All right. Yeah, we will see you very, very shortly. So it's not really a goodbye from Ruby and I, but would you like to say anything to the audience?
Hey.
The opposite of a goodbye. Gus, have you got anything?
Oh, that might be a gang symbol. I won't
There's
do
too
that.
many.
Sorry, there's too many.
That was too many.
Goodbye, everyone.
See you very shortly.
Stick around.